Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what the hell we're doing today?
Well, we are in the midst of, going over some Apocrypha.
Yeah, because we're done with the book of Daniel, but are we?
And apparently not.
Because there's 3 stories.
There are.
That were kind of left out.
Yeah.
But some Bibles have them.
Right. Well, at least as an extra added, and some actually have them.
Yeah, some.
So it just kind of depends on what we're talking about.
Some consider them canon, and some don't.
Right. So it gets a little muddled here with regard to what's in the Bible and what's not in the Bible.
Exactly.
And we decided to just go ahead and cover them this time
because one of them has a dragon, and I was like, nope, we got to read about the dragon.
And we're already here. We're in Daniel. Why not? Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I do want to address, we've been gone for a few days.
We have.
So did you want to tell the story as to why we're gone for a few days?
Okay, so about a month ago, one of my teeth broke.
Right.
And then about a week ago, it started kind of hurting. And then a couple days ago, I was like, oh, fuck me, because it hurt so bad that it was like swelled in my face and down my neck.
Not good.
So
we went to the ER.
We went to the ER.
And just to preface this, we're in between insurance is why we didn't get this taken care of immediately in the first place.
Yeah, I don't just sit around the house with a broken tooth just for the fun of it.
Just wonderful U.S. healthcare is what this is all about.
Yeah. I was hoping that I could wait until husband's new insurance from his new job kicked in.
Right.
To go get this taken care of.
But then pain and, all the other things kicked in and said, nope, sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got antibiotics and steroids.
They gave you Vicodin.
Vicodin.
Good
and
shit.
Yeah.
So much for HIPAA laws. We just shared with everybody what we're doing.
I know, right? I got a antibacterial mouthwash.
Yeah.
I got all kinds of good shit.
Right.
So now I'm going to an emergency dentist on Monday. We're recording this on a Sunday.
Right.
And so that's where we've been.
That's where we are.
Sorry.
So we just finished up with Daniel.
We did.
And now today we're going to be reading
Special Daniel.
Which is what?
Well, today we're reading Susanna and the Elders.
Okay. All right. You ready to do this?
I sure as fuck am.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right. So we are hopping into an apocryphal tale of Daniel called Susanna and the Elders.
Okay.
Before I get into that, let me just preface this with saying that there are 3 chapters not found in the Hebrew or Aramaic text of Daniel.
Okay.
The text of these chapters is found in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Bible.
Right.
And the 3 chapters are called Susanna and the Elders, which is the one we're reading today, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second.
Okay.
The second one is the Prayer of Azariah and the Song of the 3 Holy Children. And that takes place when their kids are in the furnace.
Got it.
Okay. And then the last one is Bel and the Dragon.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any particular order as to how these fall into the whole thing? Okay.
Yes, and that's why I read them in the order I did.
Yeah.
So Susanna and the Elders takes place before Daniel chapter 1, verse 1.
Oh.
It's a prologue in early Greek manuscripts.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And this episode, along with Bel and the Dragon, is one of the 2 earliest examples of a detective story.
Really?
But don't get excited.
Oh.
It ain't that good a mystery. Yeah. The narrative is included in the book of Daniel by the Catholic Church,
Okay.
the Oriental Orthodox churches, and the Eastern Orthodox churches, but it is placed in the Apocrypha by Protestants.
Got it.
Okay. Now, some Protestant Bibles do include them at the end in their appendix. Some include them as an appendix to the book of Psalms.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The primary reason for the exclusion of Susanna and the Elders from Protestant canon is the Protestant Reformation. The Reformers rejected the Apocrypha as part of their canon, considering it as additions to the Hebrew scriptures that lacked the same authority. They were later additions.
Okay.
So they weren't originally in Hebrew, therefore they can't possibly be counted.
Got it.
Basically, anytime there was a Reformation, they went with whatever was what they considered the authoritative version at that time.
Okay.
Sometimes it was the Greek, sometimes it was the Latin. It just depends on the time period.
Got it.
But regardless, this wasn't in either. So they were like, fuck that all the way to Mars.
Got it. And I believe the version that you found is out of the NRSV Bible, which is the New Revised Standard Edition. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just in case anybody's following along for
Right.
the exact wordage and all that. So
the Anabaptists, Lutherans, Anglicans, and Methodists regard it as non-canonical, but useful for purposes of edification.
okay.
So they're like, this isn't part of the Bible, but we are not offended at its inclusion or in studying it as
still has a place.
extracurricular material because it does teach lessons
Got it.
that do not counter anything in the Bible.
Okay. All
So
right.
they don't find it offensive.
Got it.
The text is not included in the Jewish Tanakh and is not mentioned in early Jewish literature.
Okay.
Okay. There is no historical evidence to confirm the existence of Susanna as a real person. I know you'll be
Right.
shocked to find that.
Not really. No.
The story is likely a fictional narrative designed to convey moral and theological messages.
Of course.
And the story is often interpreted as an allegory of innocence falsely accused and ultimately vindicated with divine intervention as a central theme. So I'm going to give that a little intro to each story like I've just done for Susanna.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but now we're going to get into Susanna.
Got it.
Okay. So I'm about to read it.
No.
I'm going to read
I like the lead
Susanna.
there. We are reading the story now. It is starting now.
Now comes the story. Here goes some Susanna. And sometimes it's called, the full length of the story is called Susanna and the Elders, but often it's just shortened to Susanna. So
Okay.
that's what I've referred to it as in my notes
Sure.
because it's just easier.
Sure. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Susanna, here we go.
Starting now.
Starting now. Go. There was a man.
Sometimes there is men. Sometimes they happen.
There was a man. Not.
Yeah.
I like how the story starts. It's about Susanna, but no, let us talk about a man.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Living in Babylon, whose name was Joachim.
Okay.
He married the daughter of Hilkiah named Susanna, a very beautiful woman and one who feared the Lord. Her parents were righteous and had trained their daughter according to the law of Moses. Joachim was very rich and had a fine garden adjoining his house.
Is this not the Joachim?
No, it's
Okay.
not a king. It's not a prince. It's just a guy.
Okay. Why
Okay.
does it sound like that's the name of one of the kings? I thought
It was.
That was, yeah.
But
okay.
this is
But it's
not.
not. It's
This
not.
is not the king.
Just clarifying.
This is just a guy.
Okay.
He was
as it said,
a rich guy.
There was a guy.
Yeah.
There was a man.
He's a rich guy and he's got a fine garden and a beautiful wife.
Gotta love those fine gardens. Yeah.
The Jews used to come to him because he was the most honored of them all.
Okay.
So I would imagine that means that they came to him for advice and probably for loans and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because they said he was rich and had a nice garden.
Yeah.
And then they said they came to him.
Right.
That year, 2 elders from the people were appointed as judges. Concerning them, the Lord had said, wickedness came forth from Babylon, from elders who were judges, who were supposed to govern the people. These men were frequently at Joachim's house, and all who had a case to be tried came to them there.
Okay.
So
they worked together, sort of, maybe.
And they held court at this dude's house.
Right, because he's got a nice garden, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate these guys. They're so gross. I hate them. When the people left at noon, Susanna would go into her husband's garden to walk. Every day, the 2 elders used to see her going in and walking about, and they began to lust for her, as men do.
Right.
Right? You see where this is going.
Sure.
They suppressed their consciences and turned away their eyes from looking to heaven or remembering their duty to administer justice. They forgot to keep their dicks tight.
Right.
They forgot to zip their pants and keep their hands to themselves. They forgot not to be lusty.
Right.
They forgot not to be turned on by a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
They forgot.
They
couldn't remember that just because you see a pretty girl doesn't mean you have to rape her.
Right.
They forgot.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember.
Sometimes, I guess, according to the Bible.
I'm just a dumb girl. What would I know?
Yeah.
Is that you're a dude?
No.
Does that seem to be true for you?
No.
You've never forgot?
I've never forgot.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must be like the strength of God or something.
Apparently.
Because
only the strength of atheists. So.
Right. Because these guys are supposed to be godly, but they forgot.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Both were overwhelmed with passion for her, but they did not tell each other of their distress, for they were ashamed, as well they should be, to disclose their disgusting, lustful desire to seduce her.
Yeah.
And where they say seduce, I read rape. You say seduce, I say rape. Seduce, rape, seduce, rape.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Day after day, they watched eagerly to see her. Yeah, they did. One day, they said to each other, let us go home, for it is time for lunch. Bye.
Uh-huh.
So they both left and parted from each other. But
Okay.
turning back, they met again. And when each pressed the other for the reason, they confessed their lust. This beautiful bitch over here, I just can't take my eyes off them titties, though. I know, right? Look at that ass. That ass. I gotta hit that ass.
Right.
I would tap that. No, I would. Oh, what if we both did? Oh, that's the best. I love me a good circle jerk where we take turns raping a train on her.
Jesus Christ.
Then together they arranged for a time when they could find her alone.
Oh, my God.
Because here we go.
Yeah.
Once, while they were watching for an opportune day, she went in as before with only 2 maids and wished to bathe in the garden, for it was a hot day.
Mm-hmm.
No one was there except the 2 elders who had hidden themselves and were watching her.
Oh, my God.
Because they're disgusting, huge leches. They're just gross.
Yeah.
She said to her maids, bring me olive oil and ointments and shut the garden doors so that I can bathe. They did as she told them. They shut the doors of the garden and went out by the side doors to bring what they had been commanded. They did not see the elders because they were hiding. When the maids had gone out, the 2 elders got up and ran to her.
Oh, my God.
They said, look, the garden doors are shut and no one can see us. We are burning with desire for you, so give your consent and lie with us.
Oh.
Let us rape you.
Okay.
Please let us rape you. Can we please rape you? Say yes. Don't fight us. Let us rape you, please.
Wow.
Yeah. If you refuse, we will testify against you that a young man was with you, and this was why you sent your maids away. Let us rape you, or we'll say that you fucked.
Wow.
Either way, you're fucked.
Right. Yeah.
Susanna groaned and said, I'm completely trapped, for if I do this, it will mean death for me. If I do not, I cannot escape your hands. I choose not to do it. I will fall into your hands rather than sin in the sight of the Lord. So she's like, no, if you're going to rape me, you're going to fucking rape me.
Right.
I'm not giving my consent, you fucks.
Yeah.
Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice, and the 2 elders shouted against her. And one of them ran and opened the garden doors. When the people in the house heard the shouting in the garden, they rushed in at the side door to see what had happened to her. And when the elders told their story, the servants felt very much ashamed, for nothing like this had ever been said about Susanna.
Right.
But of course, who do you think they believed? They believe the men because men.
Right.
Because penis rage.
Yeah.
I don't understand. We all know that men are disgusting and lecherous. We talk about it. It's a fucking joke throughout the Bible.
But why would you believe it? Like, the doors were locked. They were outside. They came running as soon as she screamed. And the only people in there were the elders.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, this is whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, we've known throughout time that men are apparently disgusting and can't keep their hands to themselves. It's a joke that we talk about all the time, how gross men are. But no, by all means, let us believe them.
This speaks way more to the misogyny of the time than it does to anything else. Like, the fact that the doors are locked, they're the only other two in there, and they're going to believe them over her. It speaks to how, I mean, look, we still have problems with this today. Yeah. Right?
Well,
but
not only
even more so back in those days.
Not only that, I think it's even worse today sometimes because we'll say, oh my God, they only raped you and you're going to ruin this young man's life over you being raped. Just why would you ruin this man's life? He's got a scholarship that he's going to lose because of you being raped and calling them out on it. Like, oh, it's so gross. I hate it so much.
Right.
The next day, when the people gathered at the house of her husband, Joachim, the two elders came full of their wicked plot to have Susanna put to death. In the presence of the people, they said, send for Susanna, daughter of Hilkiah, the wife of Joachim. So they sent for her, and she came with her parents, her children, and all her relatives. Now, Susanna was a woman of great refinement and beautiful in appearance. As she was veiled, the scoundrels ordered her to be unveiled so that they might feast their eyes on her beauty. So that they could look at her one more time before they kill her.
Right.
Those who were with her and all who saw her were weeping. Then the two elders stood up before the people and laid their hands on her head. Through her tears, she looked up toward heaven, for her heart trusted the Lord. The elders said, while we were walking in the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids, shut the garden doors, and dismissed the maids. Then a young man who was hiding there came to her and lay with her. We were in a corner of the garden, and we saw this wickedness. We ran to them. Although we saw them embracing, we could not hold the man because he was stronger than we are, and he opened the door and got away.
Wow.
We did, however, seize this woman and asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things we testify.
Wow.
Right? Like, you disgusting, nasty dudes. Your penises are gross, and I hope they shriveled off.
Right.
Because they were elders of the people and judges, the assembly believed them and, condemned her to death, as you do.
Wow.
Yeah. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, "O eternal God, you know what is secret and are aware of all things before they come to be. You know that these men have given false evidence against me, and now I am to die, though I have done none of the wicked things that they have charged against me."
Yeah, I am curious. What is God going to do here?
Right.
Like, if you don't stop it, you're bad.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
This is wrong. So.
The Lord heard her cry.
Oh, okay.
Just as she was being led off to execution. So, he let her have a heart attack first.
Yeah, right.
God stirred up the Holy Spirit of a young lad named Daniel.
Oh, good old Daniel.
We love Daniel.
Young lad.
And he shouted with a loud voice, "I want no part in shedding this woman's blood."
Why would a young lad have any part in shedding? It was just because he was in the audience or whatever?
Yeah, they were all going to put her to death.
All right. Okay.
All the people turned to him and asked, "What the fuck are you saying?" Taking a stand among them, he said, "Are you such fools, O Israelites, as to condemn a daughter of Israel without examination and without learning the facts? Return to court, for these fucking dudes have given false evidence against her."
Yeah.
So all the people hurried back, and the rest of the elders said to him, "Come, sit among us and inform us, for God has given you the standing of an elder." Daniel said,
Why would they? Why?
I don't know.
He's not even of the age of what they would consider a prophet at that point, because prophets were like 30 plus, I think, usually.
Something like that.
And so he's a young kid.
But maybe at this point he has been deemed
on the path for that or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe he already was a wise person and very godly.
I guess.
Like that's part of why he got kidnapped up to Babylon.
It just always bothers me that it feels like back in these times, like a lot of justice, quote unquote, was done by somebody yelling out and,
and then the crowd is
foul.
easily swayed.
Right, yeah.
Like, yeah, set them free. Yeah, burn the witch.
Right.
Yeah, they're innocent. Yeah, kill them.
Right.
What?
Yeah, whatever's the most popular thing to do, right?
In that moment, that's what they yell. Yeah. Daniel said to them, separate them far from each other, and I will examine them. So he's actually going to, ask some questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Because nobody else thought of this. This is the first detective story. Put them in separate questioning rooms.
I appreciate this. Yeah.
Yeah. When they were separated from each other, he summoned one of them and said to him, you old relic of wicked days, your sins have now come home, which you have committed in the past, pronouncing unjust judgments, condemning the innocent and acquitting the guilty, though the Lord said, you shall not put an innocent and righteous person to death. Now then, if you really saw this woman, tell me this. Under what tree did you see them being intimate with each other?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right.
Dude answered, under a mastic tree. And Daniel said, very well, this lie has cost you your head, for the angel of God has received the sentence from God. The angel of God has received the sentence from God and will immediately cut you in two.
Wow.
Then, putting him to one side, he ordered them to bring the other. And he said to him, you offspring of Canaan and not of Judah, beauty has beguiled you and lust has perverted your heart. This is how you've been treating the daughters of Israel, and they were intimate with you through fear. But a daughter of Judah would not tolerate your wickedness. Now then, tell me, under what tree did you catch them being intimate with each other? Dude answered, under an evergreen oak.
Oh, we got conflicting accounts here. Yeah.
Daniel said to him, very well, this lie has cost you also your head, for the angel of God is waiting with his sword to split you in two, so as to destroy you both.
Okay.
Then the whole assembly raised a great shout and blessed God, who saves those who hope in him. And they took action against the two elders, because out of their own mouths Daniel had convicted them of bearing false witness. They did to them as they had wickedly planned to do to their neighbor.
Wow.
Acting in accordance with the law of Moses, they put them to death. Thus, innocent blood was spared that day. Hilkiah and his wife praised God for their daughter Susanna, and so did her husband Joachim and all her relatives, because she was found innocent of a shameful deed. And from that day onwards, Daniel had a great reputation among the people. The end.
Now that's awesome, I guess. But I feel like that was just the bare minimum of due diligence, right?
Right.
And
you asked questions.
Yeah.
Good job.
Right, but I feel like that wasn't done a lot back then.
Right.
Just in general.
They make it seem like it wasn't.
Like, women got a real raw deal when it came to shit, because they didn't really get much of a say, and men pretty much got to tell whatever they wanted to tell, and that's the way it was.
Yep.
Based on a lot of what I've heard throughout the Bible, even. Just like the men get to decide what happened. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I appreciate that they did that, but I don't... it's not like it happened a lot. Women got fucked over a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And
like the bad part of that story is not just that justice prevailed.
Yeah.
The bad part is that they were like, we're going to rape you, or we're going to turn you in if you don't let us rape you for being a sexed up freak.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Those are my options?
Right.
Fuck off. Like, those were literally her options. And if nobody had stood up, because, God ain't a thing, right?
Yeah.
So if not one person had stood up, she was just going to die.
Right.
Because, why? Because she wouldn't fuck two nasty old dudes.
Yeah. That's basically what was going to happen there.
Yeah. And I can't with that story. I'm sorry.
The other thing I got to say here is that this Daniel character that they're talking about, this is prior to all the other things that we heard.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing that we heard in Daniel was him going into the service to become this, important person as a child. Like we're talking about 10 to 12 years old or something.
Yeah.
Right. And so this had to happen before that.
Right.
Which means that this kid was pretty young when this happened, according to the story.
Yeah.
According to the whole, canon of the character.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that he was even given a a place to stand and do this. Mm-hmm. But even if he was on a path to do these things,
right,
I find it a little questionable,
right,
as to the legitimacy of the story and how it proceeded.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I appreciate that they were able to not kill the woman who got accused of rape,
right,
and that's good. I mean, as stories go in the Bible, this one is not too horrible, but it does point out some problematic things that are recurring in those time frames that we have seen throughout the Bible as well. That did happen quite often.
And that are still prevalent today in small town America.
Yeah, definitely. Well, not just small town, but in America, in the world.
In America, in the world.
Misogynistic, society. So
yeah, because men are gross.
Right, indeed. So anyway, that was Susanna.
That was Susanna.
There's no chapter, whatever. This is Apocrypha we're doing.
That was Apocrypha Susanna.
Yeah, this was that. The thing the wife said.
Susanna.
I would like to say this before we get out of here. We are, and this is more for our people who listen to us on our Patreon channel, because I am going to be putting up a thing that at the beginning of our podcast will tell that we're doing this. But we are going to be at the Kentucky Free Thought Convention coming up on September 7th. We have a link on our main page, right at the top of the page. So we'd love for you to join us there. I think tickets start at $45. Seth Andrews will be there. Liz Cavell will be there. There's a lot of other. The Skeptic will be there. There's going to be a lot of people at that convention. We'd love to see you there. Definitely, if you get a chance to tell them why you're coming, tell them that we sent you, because that looks good on us and stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, I think, is that all we got for today?
That's all we got for today.
All right. So we're going to be back tomorrow with
the Prayer of Azariah.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know what we're doing today?
Well, yesterday we did Susanna, which is an apocryphal book of the Bible for some Bibles, not all.
Right.
Because apparently some Bibles actually do have that in there. And we're still kind of in this realm of Daniel, where we're going over the sort of apocryphal books of said book. I guess.
Yes.
Is that about the gist of it?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last time we were early on in Daniel's life, and he saved some woman's life by making sure that the people that tried to rape her got accused of the correct thing, and
that she didn't get accused of sleeping with a guy.
Right. That she didn't sleep with.
Just because she wouldn't consent to being raped by these two leches.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was Susanna.
And the elders.
And the elders. Which means that today we're getting into a new chapter, which would be what?
The Prayer of Azariah and Song of the Three Holy Children.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people just call it the Prayer of Azariah.
The Prayer of Azariah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get into this?
Sure as fuck am.
All right, let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right, well, like you said in the intro, we are still kind of in the book of Daniel.
Right.
And we are reading 3 chapters that were left out of most of the Bibles. They were not found in the Hebrew or Aramaic texts of the book of Daniel.
Okay.
But they were in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation.
Sure.
And the 3 chapters are Susanna and the Elders, which we read yesterday.
Okay.
And the Prayer of Azariah and Song of the Three Holy Children, which we're reading today.
Yeah.
And Bel and the Dragon, which we will be covering tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This particular one, the Prayer of Azariah and the Song of the Three Holy Children, would be found in Daniel chapter 3.
Okay.
And it would be verses 24 through 90 in the Greek Septuagint. Okay. They were removed from Protestant canon within it falls within the fiery furnace episode when the 3 buddies of Daniel are tossed into the fire.
Sure.
Yeah. In some Greek Bibles, the prayer and the song do appear in an appendix to the book of the Psalms.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The prayer and accompanying song are not found in the Hebrew and Aramaic text, which I already said, nor are they cited in any extant early Jewish writings.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is accepted as canonical by Catholic and Eastern Orthodox Christians, but rejected by most Protestants as being non-canonical.
Okay.
The origins of this particular story are obscure. Most modern scholars conclude that there was probably an original Semitic edition of this story somewhere.
Got it.
They just don't know the where and why for.
Okay.
The date of composition of this particular story is also uncertain, although most scholars favor a date either in the 2nd or 1st century BCE.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so let us get over to that story now.
Yeah.
Okay, Azariah and, this particular translation that I'm reading is called Azariah and the Three Jews.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
But it is the same story. Okay?
Got it.
Okay. They walked around in the midst of the flames, singing hymns to God and blessing the Lord. Then Azariah stood still in the fire and prayed aloud. Blessed are you, O Lord, God of our ancestors, and worthy of praise, and glorious is your name forever. For you are just in all you have done. All your works are true, and your ways right, and all your judgments are true.
So they're just partying it up in the fire there.
Yeah,
That's what's going on here?
Yes. I don't know if you recall why they ended up in the fire in the first place.
Yeah, well, they were, people were complaining that they were not, I kind of forget, I guess, but it was like...
There was a statue.
Right.
And everybody was supposed to worship the statue and pray to the statue.
That's
and
right.
bow to the statue. And these guys were like, nah, but no.
Right.
And they were like, well, fuck you then.
Sure.
Get into that fire.
Okay, that's right.
And
I knew it had something to do with them not following directions of the Babylonians or whatever.
Right.
And
right.
therefore got thrown into the fire.
And so they were like, we believe in God and our God at
Right.
that. And he may not save us, but we know he can if he so chooses.
Sure.
And so they went in willingly because they were like, it's in his hands, not ours.
Yeah. All right.
And so that happened.
Okay.
So they're in there singing it up now.
Sure.
You have executed true judgments in all you have brought upon us and upon Jerusalem, the holy city of our ancestors. By a true judgment, you have brought all this upon us because of our sins. For we have sinned and broken your law and turning away from you. Womp womp. I hate it when we sin.
Yeah.
We're singing in the fire. La la la.
But
we
they've been saved by, like, they're extolling how their people have turned away from God, and yet God is in the midst of saving them currently.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
In all matters we have sinned grievously. Hated it. We have not obeyed your commands. We have not kept them or done what you have commanded us for our own good. La la la, I love the fire. It's hot. La la la. So all that you have brought upon us and all that you have done to us, you have done by a true judgment. You have handed us over to our enemies, lawless and hateful rebels, and to an unjust king, the most wicked in all the world.
Wow.
That's funny because we know a wickeder king comes later.
Yeah, and also, like, they did a lot to make this king, Nebuchadnezzar, seem like he was like, oh, this God is great. And, you know, they kind of said some nice things about him occasionally.
Because he found God later.
Right.
In this book.
Right.
In this book.
Yeah.
That they are singing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we cannot open our mouths, you know, because we're in the fucking fire. La la la.
Sure.
We, your servants who worship you, have become a shame and a reproach. For your name's sake, do not give us up forever and do not annul your covenant. Do not withdraw your mercy from us. For the sake of Abraham, your beloved, and for the sake of your servant Isaac, and Israel, your holy one, to whom you promised to multiply their descendants like the stars of heaven and like the sand on the shore of the sea.
Yeah, indeed. He did promise those things.
He did. Yeah. The sands and the stars.
Right.
Yeah. For we, O Lord, have become fewer than any other nation. I mean, yeah, they did.
I mean, that's
cut down.
Right.
Yeah. and are brought low this day in all the world because of our sins. And we're still dancing in the fire while we sing all this.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, have they even been saved yet? Because the guys that threw them into the fire died as they were throwing them into the fire.
Right, because it was so hot.
Seems like a long way of... You should be quicker about this, because you might be dead already.
They're just like, la la la, we're still dancing in the fire.
Right, yeah.
People dying because it's so fucking hot, but not us.
Right.
We're singing.
Yeah.
In our day, we have no ruler or prophet or leader, no burnt offering or sacrifice or oblation or incense, no place to make an offering before you and to find mercy. Yet with a contrite heart and a humble spirit may we be accepted, as though it were with burnt offerings of rams and bulls, or with tens of thousands of fat lambs. Such may our sacrifice be in your sight today, and may we unreservedly follow you, for no shame will come to those who trust in you. La la la, la la la, dancing in the fire.
Right. They also mentioned, like, this time frame is supposed to be around the beginning of the Babylonian exile, right? Mm-hmm. Ish. Thereabouts, right?
The story.
Yeah, which is also in the same time frame as Ezekiel. Mm-hmm. So, but they're saying that there's no prophets, but there seems to be prophets in that same time frame.
Interesting.
Which, that does not match. So.
Right. But the prophets that they wouldn't know these prophets that were in Jerusalem because they're in Babylon.
Right, but Ezekiel was in Babylon also.
Oh, he was. You're right. Sorry.
So that's why I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And now with all our heart, we follow you, God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We fear you and seek your presence. Do not put us to shame, but deal with us in your patience and in your abundant mercy. Deliver us in accord with your marvelous works, and bring glory to your name, O Lord. La la la, dancing in the fire.
That's a good prayer. That's what he really cares about, bringing glory to his name.
Like, your name is awesome. I fucking love your name. It's pretty. Could you please save me? Let all who do harm to your servants be put to shame. Let them be disgraced and deprived of all power, and let their strength be broken. Let them know that you alone are the Lord God, glorious over the whole world. Now the king's servant who threw them in kept stoking the furnace with naphtha, pitch, tow, and brushwood.
Okay, but they said in the other chapter that anybody that got near the flame died.
Yep.
So how is he doing that?
I don't know.
Okay.
From afar.
Got it.
They're throwing it real far. Willy-nilly. Hail Mary.
Catapult or something?
Yeah, they got long pole sticks.
Okay.
Cattle prods.
There you go.
Yeah. And the flames poured out above the furnace 49 cubits.
Damn.
And spread out and burned those Chaldeans who were caught near the furnace. See?
Okay.
But the angel of the Lord came down into the furnace to be with Azariah and his companions, and drove the fiery flame out of the furnace, and made the inside of the furnace as though a moist wind were whistling through it.
Oh, so maybe the reason that the people outside got burned was because of this angel.
They put the fire on the outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember, later the king was like, "What? I thought you only put 3 kids in there." And they were like, "Yeah." And he's like, "But I see 4 people. One's all shiny. What?"
Yeah.
That's this angel guy.
But that was a long prayer to get to the point where they got saved by the angel.
Right? The fire did not touch them at all and caused them no pain or distress. La la la, la la la, dancing in the fire.
Yeah.
Then the 3 with one voice praised and glorified and blessed God in the furnace. Blessed are you, O Lord, God of our ancestors, and to be praised and highly exalted forever. And blessed is your glorious holy name, and to be highly praised and highly exalted forever. Mm-hmm. Blessed are you in the temple of your holy glory, and to be extolled and highly glorified forever.
Highly glorified.
Highly, highly, highly. It's so fucking hot. Highly, la la la.
This God is like the best God of all the gods.
You're the best.
He's the best God there is.
God.
Yeah.
Blessed are you who look into the depths from your throne on the cherubim, and to be praised and highly exalted forever. Blessed are you on the throne of your kingdom, and to be extolled and highly exalted forever.
Holy shit, this is a lot of fucking praise.
Blessed are you in the firmament of heaven, and to be sung and glorified forever.
Good God.
La 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 la, dancing in the fire. Do you like my little additions?
It's great.
I keep adding between each verse.
Yeah.
Bless the Lord, all you works of the Lord. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever. Bless the Lord, you heavens. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever.
Oh my God.
All the forever of forever,
right?
ever.
This is insane.
Bless the Lord, ye angels of the Lord. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever. Bless the Lord, all you waters above the heavens. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever. Bless the Lord, all you powers of the Lord. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever.
All you powers of the Lord?
Lord, exalt the Lord, because the Lord is the Lord, and Lord, Lordy, Lord, Lord.
My God.
Dancing in the fire, la 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 la.
Right? Yeah.
Bless the Lord, sun and moon. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever. Bless the Lord, stars of heaven. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him forever. Bless the Lord, all rain and dew. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever. Yeah.
Bless the Lord, all you winds. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever.
Bless the Lord, fire and heat. Heat. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever.
Bless the Lord, winter cold and summer heat. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
And not forever?
forever.
Oh, okay.
Bless the Lord, dews and falling snow.
Didn't they just say dews before? They said dew and something.
They said cold, winter cold and summer heat. Now we've got dews and falling snow. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever.
Bless the Lord, nights and days. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever.
Bless the Lord, light and darkness. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever.
Bless the Lord, ice and cold. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him
Forever.
Bless the Lord, frost and snow.
Jesus, this is fucking boring.
Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, lightnings and clouds. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Let the earth bless the Lord.
Yeah, why
Let
not?
us sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Yeah. Bless the Lord, mountains and hills. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
But make sure you don't do it from the high places, but forever. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Bless the Lord, all that grows in the ground. And the green grass grows all around.
It does.
Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, seas and rivers. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, you springs. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, ye whales, and all that swim in the waters. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, all birds of the air. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
This fucking thing goes on forever.
Bless the Lord, all wild animals and cattle. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever. This is a lot of forevers.
I know.
It's like the forevers are going on forever.
I know. Look, when I was scrolling through this, I was like, oh, this ain't long at all.
Yeah.
But boy, I didn't even know, did I?
You didn't.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it goes.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bless the Lord, all people on earth. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, O Israel. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, ye priests of the Lord. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, ye servants of the Lord. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Bless the Lord, spirits and souls of the righteous. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
For fucking ever.
Bless the Lord, you who are holy and humble in the heart. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
Okay, we're on the last bit.
Oh, fucking great.
Bless the Lord, Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. Sing praise to him and highly exalt him.
Forever.
That's us. I'm singing to us. We're dancing in the fire. La, 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 la. Us. Praise him, us. For he has rescued us from Hades and saved us from the power of death.
Wait, Hades?
That's some Greek shit right there.
Right? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Saved us from the power of death and delivered us from the midst of the burning fiery furnace. From the midst of the fire he has delivered us. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures
forever.
All who worship the Lord bless the God of gods. Sing praise to him and give thanks to him, for his mercy endures
For fucking ever.
the end.
Holy shit. That was just, I see why it was maybe go at the end of like what you said, Psalms or something like that is where it was placed in some places.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I guess it's kind of like poetic-ish because of the forever over and over and over again and the highly exalted and the whatever. But man, we've talked about this with the books of Daniel before, but there is a lot of extra praise pointed at this God of theirs.
God, he's so great.
It's almost sickening the amount of like
everybody
love
loves
that
him.
they're trying to produce for him, right?
Yeah.
And given the time frame, because this is like it's in the 200 BCE time frames, which they were rebuilding Jerusalem in like 165 after they got rid of what's his face
Epiphanes,
Antiochus Epiphanes, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this was them like, yay, we better praise our God more because we got our place back and we're going to keep him forever. And there's just all this like extra praise happening to like make sure they solidify their God's place, right?
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to stomach.
It really is.
I'm like, guys, have you read your own book? Because
right?
your God's kind of a dick.
He's very much a dick.
Really, he kind of sent you to where you were anyway, and then you had to figure out a way to get your place back.
Right.
So I don't know that he deserves this much praise, but whatever.
I'm glad you didn't burn up in the fire.
Well,
this passage, if you break it down like story wise, it normally has three main components is how they break it down when they're doing like literary analysis of it.
Okay.
The first part is the penitential prayer of Daniel's friend Azariah while the three youths were in the fiery furnace. So he's like, help, help,
right.
We're in the fire.
Yeah.
And the second component is like the two sentences, a brief account of a radiant figure who met them in the furnace, yet who was unburned. Right. I mean, that was so brief.
Sure.
Right. The third component is that long ass ending, the hymn of praise that they sang when they realized their deliverance.
Got it.
And the hymn includes the refrain, praise and exalt him above all forever, repeated many, many times, each naming a feature of the world.
Right.
And
I recall.
Yeah.
You just read it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it's like why some of the faiths include this as extracurricular activity that they approve of, and why even some do consider it canonical, because it is so it's not just not in disagreement with the rest.
Right.
It actually is more hand in hand with what they would like you to be.
Now there is some questions I would have with regard to the writing of this, because they brought up Hades.
Yeah, that was my first question.
That's interesting. And yes, there is talk in the Bible of God creating all the heavens and the earth and all this kind of stuff, but the specific thing, like having the stars and the dew and all the natural, the sun and the moon, give thanks as entities that exist to this God.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Those things feel a little bit more pagan in idea than some of the other ideas that we've read about in the Bible, somewhat. Yeah. Now, I think earlier on they were closer to that, but this was in the later books that we've read, this is as close as we've gotten to it in this time frame.
It kind of, you can see why it's accepted by some, but you can also see why others are like, oh, absolutely not.
Right.
Get that stuff out of here. This is not okay.
Yeah.
So that makes it kind of interesting where you can see both sides.
Sure, definitely. But so that was what was this one called again?
Azariah and the praise song thing.
Praise song thing. Wow, that was very specific.
The prayer of Azariah and Song of the Three Holy Children.
Okay.
Or as it's called in the translation that I read.
Yeah.
Let me scroll back up to the top
prayer
here.
of Azariah and the three Jews.
Azariah and the three Jews.
Azariah and the three Jews. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So that's the end of this one. And then we'll be back tomorrow with
Bel and the Dragon.
Awesome. All right. And then that will finish us up with the apocryphal books of Daniel, correct?
Yes, it will.
Once we finish tomorrow's.
Yep.
All right. Well, we will see you guys then.
Bye. Husband,
Wife.
do you know what we're doing today?
Well, yesterday we read the Prayer of Azariah, which was one of the apocryphal books of Daniel for some Bibles, for some readings. So, and that being it's not in all Bibles. So we didn't necessarily need to read this as part of our Bible, but we figured since it is in some, we wanted to go ahead and do that. And in that book, or that chapter, that went on forever.
Yeah.
And they praised God a lot. And all the things, the earth, the dew, the snow,
And it
the
took
grass.
place in chapter 3 when dude's homeboys were tossed into the furnace.
Yeah, they were in the fire. So, yeah, they were dancing around, and then they were like, hey, we suck. God, forgive us for sucking. And then they went on to extol all the things that like the grass even praised God.
Yes.
So, I mean...
And the sun and the moon and the spring.
yeah. It was a lot of... It was very repetitive and very... ugh.
Yeah.
So that was the Prayer of Azariah.
Yes.
Which means that today we're going to be finishing up our book of Daniel, and then moving into our regular scheduled, end of book of Daniel stuff with
Bel and the Dragon.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, as you stated in the intro, we are reading 3 apocryphal chapters of Daniel.
We are.
Which apocryphal means that they are not included.
Sometimes.
Depending
on which Bible we're talking about.
Right. They are not included in Jewish or Protestant Bibles, but they are accepted as canon by some Catholic Bibles.
Right.
And even when they're not accepted as canon, sometimes the stories do still appear in an appendix.
Right.
Some Protestant Bibles have an apocryphal appendix.
I see.
That these stories appear in.
Yeah, because they aren't exactly heretical.
Right.
They're just not accepted as the story that they want to tell in the Bible.
Right.
So,
which is weird considering the things that they did decide get to stick around.
Right.
But these were later additions to Daniel.
And they weren't exactly, they didn't fit the mold for what these certain groups wanted to put.
Right.
Like they had to have certain criteria that fit for the stuff that went into their Bible. So,
yes, they did.
Which, whatever, that's.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So these 3 chapters are not found in the Hebrew or Aramaic texts of Daniel. And the text of these chapters is found in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first one we read was Susanna and the Elders. And then the one that we read yesterday was the Prayer of Azariah and Song of the 3 Holy Children. And the one we're reading today is Bel and the Dragon.
Okay.
And Bel, it's funny, you were asking me how to spell it, and you thought it was like a girl's name, like Belle.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's more like the god Bel, so think L-B-E-L.
Right.
So it's not like a girl and a dragon, which is like the picture that I had in my mind when I was thinking of Bel and the Dragon.
Right.
Like a maiden in distress, right?
Yeah.
A damsel. But no, it's not.
Okay.
So this one falls after Daniel chapter 12, verse 13 in the Septuagint.
Oh.
And is an epilogue.
Okay. All right.
So Bel and the Dragon is believed to have been written between the 3rd and 1st centuries BCE, likely around the time that Daniel was being translated from Hebrew to Greek.
Got it.
The Greek version dates back to 100 BCE, but the Hebrew version may be even older than that.
Okay.
However, this chapter was unknown to early rabbinic Judaism.
Got it.
So we're, as usual, not quite sure what came from where.
Okay. Right.
While it is considered non-canonical by most Protestants, it is canonical to Catholic and Eastern Orthodox Christians.
Sure.
This is a Greek apocryphal story that parodies Babylonian gods and aims to discredit them.
Interesting.
Right? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
This version of the story that we're about to read has been cited as an ancestor of the locked room mystery. Remember, I told you that this one and the first one that we read, Susanna, were considered two of the earliest mysteries.
Yeah.
This is the other one.
Okay.
And are you familiar with a locked room mystery?
Not specifically.
You're in a room, you're murdered, but the room is locked. How did it happen?
Oh, okay.
If, the doors were not jimmied and the windows aren't broken.
Got it.
How did the murder occur?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we are going to go read this now, and then I'll have some more notes after.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bel and the Dragon.
Got it.
When King Astyages,
sure, that guy,
right, was laid to rest with his ancestors, Cyrus the Persian succeeded to this kingdom.
Okay.
Daniel was a companion of the king and was the most honored of all his friends. Now, the Babylonians had an idol called Bel, B-E-L.
Right. Yeah.
And every day they provided for it 12 bushels of choice flour and 40 sheep and 6 measures of wine. The king revered it and went every day to worship it. But Daniel worshipped his own God. So the king said to him, "Why do you not worship Bel?" He answered, because I do not revere idols made with hands, but the living God who created heaven and earth and has dominion over all living creatures. Duh.
All right.
Your dude is a statue. Stupid.
I mean, they did put a lot of emphasis on the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
And
so I don't want to hear your shit, Daniel.
I'm just saying there has been some things that were built in their gods,
Y'all did some idling too, Daniel.
Somewhat.
So don't be so uppity.
Yeah.
Okay. The king said to him, do you not think that Bel is a living god? Do you not see how much he eats and drinks every day? Hello? And Daniel laughed and said, "Do not be deceived, O king, for this thing is only clay inside and bronze outside, and it never ate or drank anything."
Much like the sacrifices you give to your living God.
Right.
Daniel.
It's so funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yes, I agree with you. It is just a statue.
Right.
So what do y'all do with
right?
Your
What the fuck is your sacrifices? No one's eating that shit either, other than the fucking priests.
Exactly. Then the king was angry and called the priests of Bel and said to them, "If you do not tell me who is eating these provisions, you shall die. But if you prove that Bel is eating them, Daniel shall die, because he has spoken blasphemy against Bel."
Oh, okay.
Daniel said to the king, "Let it be done as you've said. Whatevs, yo."
Okay.
He's like, "Do what you gotta do." What?
Sure.
Now there were 70 priests of Bel besides their wives and children. So the king went with Daniel into the temple of Bel. The priests of Bel said, "See, we are now going outside. You yourself, O king, set out the food and prepare the wine and shut the door and seal it with your signet. When you return in the morning, if you do not find that Bel has eaten it all, we will die. Otherwise, Daniel, who is telling lies about us." They were unconcerned, for beneath the table they had made a hidden entrance.
Of course they did.
Right, through which they used to go in regularly and consume the provisions.
Sure.
Not just them, but their whole families.
Right,
FYI.
yeah.
After they had gone out, the king set out the food for Bel. Then Daniel ordered his servants to bring ashes, and they scattered them through the whole temple in the presence of the king alone. Okay, only the king knew about the ashes.
Right, yeah.
Then they went out, shut the door, and sealed it with the king's signet, and departed. During the night, the priests came as usual with their wives and children, and they ate and drank everything.
Yeah.
Early in the morning, the king rose and came, and Daniel with him. The king said, "Are the seals unbroken, Daniel?" He answered, "They are unbroken, O king."
Yeah.
As soon as the doors were opened, the king looked at the table and shouted in a loud voice, "Ah, you are great, O Bel, and in you there is no deceit at all." I love God. But Daniel laughed and restrained the king from going in. "Look at the floor, stupid," he said. He didn't call him stupid.
Yeah.
I called him stupid.
Sure.
"And notice whose footprints these are." The king said, "I see the footprints of men and women and children."
Okay, yeah.
You didn't look see the fucking ashes on the floor until I told you to, though, huh?
Right.
You're so smart.
Even though we did this for a reason.
Yeah.
In your presence.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Boy, you king, nothing, no flies on you. Huh?
Right? Yeah.
Then the king was enraged, and he arrested the priests and their wives and children. They showed him the secret doors through which they used to enter to consume what was on the table. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the king put them to death and gave Bel over to Daniel, who destroyed it and the temple. Now, in that place, there was a great dragon, which the Babylonians revered. I know, right?
What?
Like, sure there was.
Just there in the temple.
Oh, by the way, we had this statue. We thought it was a god. Just kidding, it's not. Oh, and by the way, there's a dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The king said to Daniel, "You cannot deny that this is a living god, so worship him."
Okay.
So first he showed him a statue, and Daniel was like, "No, I have a living god."
Right.
And so then the king is like, "Well, wait,
we have an actual dragon.
This is a living god,
right?
Though he's living.
Like, it's a fucking dragon."
Yeah. Daniel said, "I worship the Lord my God, for he is the living God, but give me permission, O king, and I will kill the dragon without sword or club."
Okay.
The king said, "I give you permission."
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, kill the dragon, whatever.
Right.
Okay. Then Daniel took pitch, fat, and hair and boiled them together and made cakes, which he fed to the dragon.
Okay.
The dragon ate them and burst open. Then Daniel said, "See what you have been worshiping?" When the Babylonians heard
So he fed the thing something it couldn't eat, and it blew up like a bird would.
Yeah.
It okay.
So it's not a god, it's just an animal.
Right, it's an animal. You killed a fucking
creature.
mythical, well, what we would consider mythical creature. So yay, I guess.
Right. Well, I'm going to guess it was probably like a crocagator. You know?
I'm going to guess it didn't exist at all.
Yeah, okay.
Daniel is fucking mythical himself.
Yeah,
so.
that is true. But be that as it may, they have discussed like quote unquote sea creatures and monsters and stuff that turned out to be fucking alligators and crocodiles.
Right,
so that's what I'm going with. If anything similar to this story ever happened, that's what it was.
Sure.
When the Babylonians heard about it, they were very indignant and conspired against the king, saying, "The king has become a Jew. He has destroyed Bel and killed the dragon and slaughtered the priests." Going to the king, they said, "Hand Daniel over to us, or else we will kill you and your household."
That's pretty bold.
I'd be like, "I'm sorry, douchebag said what?" Because I'm looking around and I'm the king.
Right.
So eat my whole entire ass, yo.
Right.
Right? The king saw that they were pressing him hard, and under compulsion, he handed Daniel over to them because that's very kingly, right?
Yeah, right.
No, that's
not how that would go.
That's not how a king does.
Right.
He would be like, "I did put the priest to death, but I seem to still have my guards.
Yeah.
Fuck these dudes right here."
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
They threw Daniel into the lion's den.
Again?
Remember? Yeah.
Okay.
And he was there for 6 days this time.
6 days.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, he knew the good hiding spot already.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
There were 7 lions in the den, and every day they had been given 2 human bodies and 2 sheep. But now they were given nothing so that they would devour Daniel.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, the prophet Habakkuk, which that's a name that is a book of the Bible that we will be reading at some point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this Habakkuk guy.
He's an actual like prophet of the Lord type person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember if he's one of the minor prophets that we're about to be reading or if he's one of the apocryphal guys that we will be reading after.
But he's in there somewhere.
He's in there somewhere.
Got
he
it.
is a guy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So anyway, and he's a prophet.
Yeah.
He was in Judea. He had made a stew and had broken bread into a bowl and was going into the field to take it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord, you know the angel. He just be walking around.
Sure.
When he's not being held up by fucking demons or whatever.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. He said to Habakkuk, "Take the food that you have to Babylon, to Daniel in the lion's den." Habakkuk said, "Sir, I have never seen Babylon and I ain't know nothing about the den."
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown of his head, which he fucking pulled his hair and was like, "Come here, stupid."
Right.
And carried him by his hair with the speed of the wind and set him down in Babylon right over the den. Here, now do you see it?
That's a very uncomfortable way to travel.
Like, kid you not?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't trying to be rude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sorry, GPS didn't be invented yet.
Did you have to carry me by my fucking hair?
Right? Like, here's my hand.
Right.
Or magic me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, Horcrux much? Then Habakkuk shouted, Daniel, take the food that God has sent you.
Wait, how does he even know Daniel's there? I guess God told him? Or the angel of the Lord or whatever told him?
Yeah, he said, take the food that you have to Babylon, to Daniel, to the lion's den.
All right.
And Habakkuk's like, sir, what the fuck you talking about? I don't know
What's
nothing
a Daniel?
about it.
What's a lion's den?
What's a Babylon?
Right.
Yeah. So the angel picked him up by his hair and carried him over there and was like, here, stupid.
Okay.
And so then he's like, what, Daniel? Here's some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Daniel said, you have remembered me, O God, and have not forsaken those who love you. Whee! So Daniel got up and ate, and the angel of God immediately returned Habakkuk to his own place. I wonder if he pulled him by his hair again.
Yeah.
On the seventh day, the king came to mourn for Daniel. When he came to the den, he looked in, and there sat Daniel. What up?
Okay.
The king shouted with a loud voice, you are great, O Lord, the God of Daniel, and there is no other beside you. Huh.
As he said, well, no, wait, no, that was Nebuchadnezzar that said that.
Yeah, this is Cyrus.
This is Cyrus, okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Then he pulled Daniel out and threw into the den those who had attempted his destruction.
Why didn't he just do that in the first place? If he was already, like, impressed with Daniel's God, why, instead of, like, bowing to what they wanted, why didn't he just do that if he had the power to do that?
He's clearly a weak piece of shit.
Apparently.
Anyway, he threw into the den those who had attempted his destruction, and they were instantly eaten before his eyes. The end.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, this version has been cited as an ancestor of the locked room mystery, which I said.
Yeah.
Sometime after the temple's condemnation, the Babylonians worshipped the dragon. Okay?
Okay.
The king says that unlike Bel, the dragon is a clear example of a live animal. Daniel promises to slay the dragon without the aid of a sword and does so by baking pitch, fat, and hair to make cakes that cause the dragon to burst open upon consumption. The reason I'm repeating that is because in other variants, other ingredients serve this purpose. So there's more than one
There's different
formula
recipes
to the story.
Yeah. All right.
In a form known to the Midrash, straw was fed in which nails were hidden.
Oh.
Or skins of camel were filled with hot coals.
I see. Okay.
And a similar story occurs in Persian poetry where Alexander the Great, or Iskander, as he's known, kills a dragon by feeding it cow's hide stuffed with poison and tar.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Interesting, yeah?
Yeah.
So the end.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what to say about that. It's like, why do we have 2 lion den stories about Daniel? That's really overkill.
They clearly picked one and were like, no, this is overkill. You get 1 lion's den story.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. There's definitely too many lion's dens.
Yeah.
And
there's too many, but we'll allow 1.
Right. And but again, I mean, this story, much like the other stories in Daniel, is again trying to get these leaders that had conquered them to admit the wonderfulness and viability of their God, right?
Yeah.
Like they're trying,
not just is our God great, but yours is fake and dumb.
Right.
It's 2 separate things they're trying for here.
Yeah. And we talked about this all the way through Daniel about how they try too hard to do this.
Yeah.
Like they are just not. It's not a realistic take on how this would go.
No, because they're like, look at how we convinced the people who kidnapped us how awesome our God is. They totally fell in love with our God
right
after they kidnapped us.
Yeah.
That totally happened.
Right.
Like, no, dudes, it didn't.
Well, and the fact that these are written hundreds of years after these events supposedly took place doesn't lend to the credibility.
No.
You know,
not at all.
It lends to the
stupidity.
Well, yeah, the propaganda aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is what it is, but
it ain't great, is what it is.
That's true for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Bell and the Dragon.
It sure as fuck was.
Which brings us to the end of Daniel.
And all its apocryphal nonsense.
Yeah. So after today, we're going to be getting into our
Daniel wrap-up.
And then we'll have...
You're always wrong.
Right. Yes. Or the Contradictions episode. And then that will finish us up with Daniel.
Yeah.
And we'll be done.
And that will be another book in the bank.
That's right. And we'll be on to the next one. Do you know what the next book is?
Oh,
off the top of your head?
I want to say Maccabees, I could be wrong.
Maccabees isn't even in the regular Bible.
Oh,
are we
it's
doing
not?
another apocryphal thing, or what are we doing?
You know what? I did not even have that pulled up. So.
Well, we're doing another book after this, regardless, which will be the 28th book that we do. So,
look at you knowing how many books we did.
Well, I have to write it every day when we publish our podcast.
That is true.
Yeah.
You do that.
So I know.
That is true.
But regardless, we will be doing a new book of the Bible.
Hosea.
Okay. All right.
Hosea. Hooray, hooray. I was thinking Moana.
Got it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll probably start the new book on Monday. So whatever time frame, we're kind of recording some of this stuff a little bit earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Whatever time frame we have left, we may be doing like a Patreon or book club or maybe both. I'm not really sure at this point.
That's weekend, and that's so far away from today.
It is so far away from today right now.
Yeah.
But we will do something probably.
Oh, yeah. We'll do something definitely. We just don't know what that is.
Right. And then we'll be back on Monday with the beginning of Hosea.
Yeah.
So
not Maccabees.
Not Maccabees, no. So we will see you guys then.
Bye.
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today?
Well, we just got done reading the apocryphal books of Daniel. And
the apocalyptic ones, too.
Well, yeah, those two. And
prior to that.
Right. And we have finished all of the books of Daniel, which generally means that today we'd be doing...
a wrap-up.
What the fuck?
There's no jingle for wrap-ups.
Right, but you could have said it with a little bit more energy. You're just like, a wrap-up. You know, like the wrap up. We're doing the wrap up for the book of Daniel.
Daniel.
Right? Daniel, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go over what we are reading. And also, we're doing this on a Wednesday night, and we're doing it on our live Discord.
We are.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't joined us on Discord, now's the time to do it, Eli. And you need to get your asses in here and join us on Discord. No particular reason that we called out Eli. Just, Eli needs to get in here. That's
you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. So stop what you're doing and join us on Discord. And the rest of you, too. So, yeah, everybody else also.
Yes.
But specifically Eli.
Oh, my God.
All right. Do you have anything you wanted to say before we get into this, or we just hopping in?
Nah, fuck it. Let's go.
All right. Let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, so let's talk about Daniel.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's talk about the guy, Daniel.
Yeah. The guy who doesn't exist, who's fictional,
yes,
who was written 400 years after the fact.
Yes, that guy.
That's the one.
Yeah, and then let's talk about authorship.
Not by Daniel.
Right. And then let's talk about the makeup of the book.
Not by God.
Right. And then let's talk about audience, theme, and purpose of the book.
None. Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm just being. I'm being dumb.
There was some,
no,
and then a little bit of history because I found a little bit more interesting stuff that you'll like.
I was going with the purpose portion of that as to the
right.
The
no, there was a purpose for it.
No, I'm just being. Okay. I'm being dumb here, and I'm having fun with it. That's
redonkulous.
All. Yeah.
All right. So the guy.
Daniel.
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the book of Daniel is a 2nd century BCE apocalypse from Judea with a 6th century BCE setting.
And he spent 2 separate times in the lion's den. 2. I mean, who knew?
One that's in the Bible and one that's extracurricular.
Well,
and
unless you're in certain Bibles, maybe.
Right. Well, the first time was only one night, and the second time was for a fucking week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know if that's a real week or like a Bible every day is a year week, or every week is a year. I don't know. So Daniel was an Israelite captive in Babylon during the 6th century BCE, according to the stories.
Yeah.
Now, Judea, the southern kingdom, had fallen to the greatest empire at the time, Babylon.
Right.
And was taken into captivity in 3 waves.
Right.
Daniel was in the first group. The prophet Daniel was taken captive and was raised up there in Babylon.
Which I just want to point out was the same wave that Ezekiel was taken in. So Ezekiel was hypothetically in the mix there at Babylon at the same time Daniel was. But there is no, like, intermingling. They
never talked about each other.
Yeah, that never happened. So
even though they're both at the same time prophets of God.
A little suspicious in my mind.
Daniel, the character.
Yeah.
Let's not even pretend.
Right.
Had lived through the reign and fall of the Babylonian Empire and the start of the Medo-Persian Empire when Babylon was invaded.
Right.
In chapter 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all I'm going to say about the dude because there's nothing to say about a dude that doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's hard to give a bio about a fictional character who was only in so many books of a Bible that, I mean, basically he was in a lot of lion's dens and, you know.
And his friends were in a furnace.
And he really loved God. Like,
he loved him so hard that he made Nebuchadnezzar love him sometimes.
Right? Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we've already talked about Daniel in past Q&As and stuff. So let's talk about the authorship a little bit.
Sure.
Most theologians, so we can also call them Bible apologists.
Yes.
They agree that Daniel wrote at least the first 6 chapters of the book of Daniel.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Okay.
If not the entire book. Most Christians believe the entire book was written by this person who doesn't even exist.
Okay, look, I don't know how you could possibly read these books and think that someone named Daniel wrote these books.
Right.
Okay. It's too...
That's not fair because I'm the one doing the outside research and bringing you information.
You're right. But at the same time, it's not written like it's written by a person in the moment. It's written like it's by someone who is trying to make this person the most perfect being for that time in that place, right? It's not written like if it was that person writing it for themselves, they would be writing themselves as a hero. And who writes themselves as a hero? Unless you're just like the biggest fucking narcissist.
Wasn't it Ezekiel
on the planet
that did that? Wrote himself as a hero?
Did he?
Or was that Nehemiah? I get them all confused now.
I don't remember. I thought, Solomon was pretty heroish.
Yeah, he was. So. But his mom or stepmom or something was the editor. Yeah.
No, there was reasons behind that.
Yeah.
But he also was very, he thought a lot of himself.
He did.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But this was different than that. There was so much extolling of God in these episodes that it was absurd.
Yeah.
It was absolutely absurd.
Clearly like one of those little black and white reels at the beginning of movies in theaters from way back in like the 40s and 50s when they would put those little news reels to try to like get Americans excited about going to war.
Yeah. Propaganda. It was fucking propaganda for Israelites.
Like whenever I watch the movie, oh shit, never mind. I can't remember what it's called. It's the one that's based on a Heinlein novel, and it's the one where they go to war against the bugs.
War against the bug. Oh, Starship Troopers.
Yes, Starship Troopers. Yeah. Thank you.
Holy shit, I got a movie and you didn't.
I couldn't remember.
What is happening? The world is upside down today.
I wanted to say Battlestar Galactica, and I knew that was absolutely not correct. Okay, so yes, that movie.
Yes.
Okay. Starship Troopers.
Right.
Based on a book by Robert A. Heinlein. And at the very beginning and at the very end, they show propaganda films with kids like squishing bugs. Everybody do your part.
Those are fantastic.
Right?
I love them.
Yeah. So that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
That's totally what the Book of Daniel is.
Sure.
Is kids stepping on bugs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So scholars outside the Christian faith, people who go to college and learn about this stuff without maybe all the baggage, or they have the baggage, but they understand that the baggage and the actual history and fact are separate, and they can somehow separate those things, which there are people like that whom I admire and respect.
Sure.
So
no, definitely.
Scholars.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they have the baggage or not.
There are a lot of scholars who started out theologians and ended up scholars.
Yes.
So, I mean,
right.
there's questions. I mean, we're reading through the Bible, right?
Yeah.
And if you're reading it with a questioning mind and you want to learn as much as you can about it, you're going to end up down some paths that are a little bit
they're going to make you wonder.
They're going to make you wonder.
Yeah.
So
scholars, outside the Christian faith, they believe the final 6 chapters were written by a Jew during the time when Antiochus IV Epiphanes desecrated the Jewish temple during his whole abomination of desolation.
Right.
And that's like a time period, like capital abomination, capital desolation, in quotation marks. Like, it is a thing to which we have referred multiple times as a specific event.
Right. And I think that is, it's important to point out that the detail of the prophecies in Daniel are such that they couldn't, look, you either have to believe fully that this guy wrote it and had the prophecies and detailed out prophecies from 400 years later, or it was written 400 years fucking later. Right. Right?
Well, and then
those are the two options.
There's some other things that I'll get into when I touch on the history briefly that will agree with us.
That.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The last chapters, as we pointed out when we were reading them, 7 through 12, experience a shift in the language used, the tone, the style, all of that, which helps contribute to this debate of who wrote it and when, and were there redactors? Did he start it and then other people came along later? Or did this whole group sit down and write it? Or did some people write part of it and other people came along later? And I'm
there is a difference. The first 6 were written in Aramaic, right? And then the last ones were written in Greek or something? Hebrew.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's correct. I'm pretty sure it was Greek.
I've got it right here.
Actually.
The first chapters 1 through 6 were written in Aramaic, and chapters 7 through 12 were written in Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I apologize. I thought it was Greek for some reason. So.
Well, you should.
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I'm sorry.
You should. Yeah. Yeah. So that gets into the next part of what we were going to talk about here.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a shift, which was obvious in the language.
Yeah.
And the language used, not just the word choice.
Sure.
So the book of Daniel falls in the third and final section of the Hebrew Bible. So, like, the first section would be the Torah, that's the instruction or the law.
Yeah.
The second part would be the Nevi'im, which is the prophets. And then the third part is the Ketuvim, and that's the writings.
Got it.
And things like Job and Psalms and all that stuff would fall under that section, along with the book of Daniel, because it's writings, not a prophet.
Right.
Christian biblical canons group the work with the major prophets, which we know because that's how we're reading it.
Yeah.
The book of Daniel is divided into 2 parts, which we just talked about. The first 6 chapters are court tales.
Right.
And those just talk about how he was brought in and how prisoners were treated if they were children during that first wave, especially. They were brought in and raised to try to be
part of the Babylonian society.
Yeah. To kind of not brainwashed necessarily, but not brainwashed either.
Yeah.
Just kind of coerced into
well, I think
being
it depended
part
on
of
your standing in the society and everything like that too.
Sure.
So.
And then the last 6 chapters, 7 through 12, those were 4 apocalyptic visions, and it's entirely different. It's not stories anymore.
I mean, it is and it isn't, but yeah.
I mean, they're visions of his future, supposedly, or the future for the Israelites, supposedly.
Right.
So the Greek text of Daniel is considerably longer than the Hebrew text, due to the 3 additional stories that we talked about, which remain in Catholic and Orthodox Christian Bibles, but were rejected by the Christian Protestant movement in the 16th century on the basis that they were absent from the Hebrew Bible.
Right.
And these are the tales that we read after we finished the official quote-unquote book of Daniel. We went ahead and read these Prayer of Azariah and the Song of the 3 Holy Children. And that one falls during the time when Daniel's 3 friends go into the furnace.
Right.
And then Susanna and the elders And that one is more of a preface to the entire book of Daniel, where this girl is basically either let us rape you or we're going to accuse you of fucking somebody because you're such a beautiful bitch that we're mad at you for not letting us rape you. And she decides to like not be raped and to, you know,
stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
She makes the quote unquote right choice, which in that case, there is no right choice because you're either going to be raped or killed.
And let's be honest, that scenario would not have played out like it did in the book of Daniel. There's no fucking way.
No.
She would have been killed.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, exactly. So. And then the last one was Bel and the Dragon. And that was a locked room mystery kind of thing where first there was the statue is a god and is eating all the stuff, and Daniel's like, yeah, no, that's not true, silly. And he proves it by putting ashes down and catching their footprints.
I thought that was very interesting because it kind of speaks to the same thing that happens with the Israelites, right? Mm-hmm. Like we talked about it all through the early books of the Bible when they were doing their sacrifices and everything, and how the priests were the ones that handled all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And we're like, this is just getting eaten by the fucking priest. It doesn't go to... These aren't offerings to God.
Yeah.
These aren't getting eaten by God.
Yeah. And
this is not how this works.
You pointed that out when we were reading that. You were like, that's ironic that Daniel's like saying this shit, but it's about a statue instead of like our quote unquote living God.
Right. And I don't understand how... Like, I would have to assume... No, more than have to assume. I know that a fucking king of Babylon would know that this is how it's going down.
Right.
Like there's no fucking way.
Right.
You definitely know this.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know. They hid the door that they snuck in through to eat all the stuff, and he never once peeked.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know. And so then
I call bullshit on that.
So then when Daniel proved him wrong, you know, and was like, no, it's not a statue eating it. It's your people, your priests and whatever. Then the king was like, all right, fine. Here's a living God. And it's like a dragon, which we know is probably like a crocodile or an alligator or whatever.
Sure.
And so Daniel makes him some kind of food that has flour or noodly stuff in it or whatever.
Nails or whatever.
Yeah, that makes his stomach split.
Yeah.
So he kills the quote-unquote living God.
That we go from looking at... Like, did it not occur to... Like, are we in the same building? Is that kind of how that's described? There's the feast where the priests ate all the food with the dust on the ground. And then, but over here, look, there's a dragon too.
I don't know, because I think that the quote-unquote living God, the monster, the dragon, was out in the gardens, is my understanding. Oh, if I remember correctly.
All right, because I was thinking maybe the dragon could have eaten the food.
Oh, that would be funny.
Except for the wrong footprint. It would have been the wrong footprints. Yeah. But I'm like, you know, if you have a living God in your fucking temple along with the food that you're sitting there to be eaten, I mean, maybe he ate it, you know?
This God ate that God's food.
Right, yeah.
That's hilarious. So we read those three, and those are apocryphal because they're not included in standard quote-unquote Bibles.
Right.
And the production of apocalypses in literature, FYI, occurred commonly from 300 BCE all the way through 100 AD. So there's
in the Bible, you're saying?
No, in literature.
Oh, okay.
Apocalyptic literature.
Well, because I mean, we still have apocalyptic literature.
No, I know that, but it was extremely common in literature for that 400 period.
I was just trying to clarify.
Yeah. Not only among Jews and Christians, but also among Greeks, Romans, Persians, and Egyptians. So the book of Daniel was like not strange for this. It was like just following.
Was there anything in particular going on? Like, it sounds like there might have been, you know, based on what we've been reading and what we know of the time, it seemed like there was a lot of war. There was a lot of things happening in the world. So maybe that's why they felt like that. Maybe that's why apocalyptic stories were really popular, maybe?
Could be. I would tend to think, too, that it probably had something to do with the popularity of priestly writings. As more and more people were able to write and record things, they're recording what they see, which is the world always on fire and falling apart around them.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And before that, people might not have been as aware of what was going on in the world around them.
And that's fair.
And they, on top of that, might not have known enough to write and record it.
You could even argue that in today's day and age, with the advent of the internet, that people are more, they think more in apocalyptic viewpoints because we are exposed to much more than we ever were before.
Yes.
Right? So it's kind of the same mentality, same idea. These people were trading more and more and traveling further and further. And so they were exposed to more and more ideas.
And at the same time, cities were growing. So humanity was becoming a more and more, quote unquote, stable, civilized, settled down.
Right.
So they were able to be exposed to more even as they were sitting still.
Sure.
To take that in.
That makes sense to me.
You mentioned, you mentioned compared to today. And there is a lot of research out there that shows that Gen Z in particular is prone to depression and fears about the end of the world because they are online. They grew up online. They've never known not being online.
Yeah.
Unlike, I would say millennials, kind of, they grew up very similar, but they may still remember as kids not having a phone in their pocket.
Sure.
Gen X, we're like the generation that is the both. We're the both sides generation because we did literally see a time when nobody had cell phones all the way through to now boomers have them and use them and shouldn't.
Right.
But Gen Z is the first generation that they were born with cell phones.
Yeah.
And they know everything that's happening in the world right now as it's happening. And they are like so struck by fear. Like, why even bother? Like, why pursue anything higher degree or hard work wise? Because, the world may not be here. Like, there's a lot of research that shows that Gen Z is very stunted that way.
Well,
and
I mean, when they're seeing stuff about, the climate change and all the people, there's a lot of things that are going on that are...
That's what I'm saying. They see the world on fire because it is.
Sure.
And I'm not trying to denigrate Gen Z. I have a Gen Z child.
Right.
And I'm just saying I understand why apocalyptic literature can influence a generation.
Sure. No, I get it.
Not to mention that Gen Z also had to deal with the whole COVID lockdown. So there's that.
Right.
All right. But moving on, Daniel learned the wisdom of the Babylonian magicians, and then he surpassed them because he is God's chosen whatever.
Right.
Yeah. He is one of the wise ones. The masculine is what the wise ones are called.
Okay.
Who have the task of teaching righteousness and whose number may be considered to include the authors of the book itself. The ones who chose what stays and what goes, the mescaline.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
The wisey, wise, wisdomy, wise guys.
Okay.
The guys with the beards, I mean, that's how I picture them.
Sure.
They're all men and they all have beards.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
If you don't have a beard, you can't sit at this table.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about audience, theme, and purpose. Okay?
Sure.
Like, I lumped that all together in one little section.
Okay.
Okay. So the first section, chapters 1-6, are known as the Babylonian narratives. Those are the stories.
Yeah.
And they show 4 Jewish men living very holy lives in a very pagan land.
Okay. I mean, that's how it's portrayed, for sure.
Yeah. And those dudes work hard and they excel in Babylonian society without compromising their integrity or their faith.
That's, again, what they said.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. And so that was geared toward an audience to show that you can still prevail. You can still stick to your virtues.
They kind of skipped the character development, though.
Yeah.
They just said, hey, these people have positions of power. They didn't really explain how they got there.
Like, well, they were specifically kidnapped because they were beautiful and smart and Nepo babies.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
So we're not all beautiful, we're not all smart, and we're not all Nepo babies. So fuck the rest of us, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So the second section, Daniel chapters 7 through 12, shows the abomination of desolation, which again is a specific event, under Antiochus IV Epiphanes, while according to some theologians, simultaneously hinting at the Antichrist to come at the end of time.
Yeah, we talked about that when we read it, and I see.
Well, we talked about it in the vision wrap up too.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what we talked about, but I do remember. I don't really see it the same way. Like, it didn't really. I don't see how people get that from that exactly. I mean, I see both sides, I guess. Like, if you're looking at it specifically from the point of view, like if you are a person who wholeheartedly believes that this represents the resurrection of Jesus Christ in the New Testament, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I see how you can make it fit. But the problem is that you kind of have to make it fit.
Right.
There is no just natural slide in there with regard to how that fits.
Well, the problem is that it's describing events that happen under Antiochus, but it's also, there are people saying, there are two different groups of people. One group of Christians is saying that Antiochus period, that abomination, desolation thingy-mabobber, that was just a trailer for the movie to come.
Right.
And then the other Christian group is saying, no, that didn't describe Antiochus. That's just a coincidence. It's specifically describing the Antichrist to come. And so you've got two groups that are talking about the same thing, and even they don't agree on what it is.
Yeah.
So the rest of us...
we even came across some things that said that people can't agree.
Right.
Right? Like, there were, as we were going through Daniel, specifically in the apocalyptic chapters, there was a couple of places where you were looking at the apologists and the apologists can't even agree on what this means.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Right. No, I know. I was just sorry. But yeah, it's so muddled that you have to, if you want to make this work for you with regard to your faith in the whole resurrection and Jesus Christ and all that, you probably can make it work, but you do have to make it work.
And you have to pick, like, it's like when somebody says, I am Christian, and then I'm over here on the outside having read a lot of this going, okay, but which kind? Are you the kind that believes this or this? Are you the kind that believes that or that? Okay, let's talk about Daniel. Are you the Christian that is, this was Antiochus Epiphanes, or are you, this was Antichrist, or are you part of the both camp? It was and will be. Like, which Christian are you? Like, saying I'm Christian kind of fucking tells me nothing, honestly.
Oh, the part I love is when you're talking to someone like that and they refuse to nail it down to what type of Christian they are. I generally think it's because they don't actually know what they are. Right. But they then are like, well, I don't have a specific denomination. I'm just a Christian. Yeah. And I'm like,
oh, you're a social Christian then.
Okay.
You kind of believe in God, maybe. Can't describe it, but it's probably your daddy in the sky. You kind of believe that Jesus was raised from the dead, but you're iffy on the details. Right. You know that Jesus is the Son of God. Depending on what part of the country you live in, you may even understand that he's not a white American. Right. You may understand that Jesus is a Jew.
But sometimes these are the most angry people that I run into. Yeah. Right? They are so adamant that you are wrong about there not being a God. But it's because I think it's the insecurity of them not actually knowing the answer. And they get very bent out of shape when you say there's not a God. And then when you ask them to defend their point of view, they just throw out like generalizations. And
heaven. Like, I'm going to heaven. I'm going to see my dead parents in heaven. I'm so excited. Yeah. Yeah. And we've talked about that. Like, wow, that's like the fucking arrogance.
I feel bad for them a little bit because I feel like there's guilt wrapped into that
not knowing
thing, right? Yeah. And where they're defending it with the zeal that they do because they don't know and they feel guilty for not knowing.
And like, if they were just a real decent, normal human, they could be like, oh my gosh, that's a really interesting question. I've never really thought about it. You know what? I think I'll just go read the Bible now and try to figure shit out.
Wouldn't it just be a better world if people could admit when they don't know? Yeah. I think that would make the whole world better.
This is so off topic, but it's why we love our family doctor. Yeah. Because he does not try to bullshit us with nonsensical answers. If he doesn't know the fucking answer, he says, I'm not sure. Let's get a specialist to find out.
Right.
Or, hey, since I last saw you, I've done research and got in touch with specialists, and here's what I have found out. I love a person who is humble enough to know what they don't know and comfortable enough with that humbleness to be able to admit it and have no problem, because they're more interested in getting the right information and sharing it.
Yeah.
And that's where I am. Yeah. I just want the right information, and then that excites me, and I want to share that.
Right.
Like, I don't need to be right for the sake of right. I need to be right because I want the correct information.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a pride thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like Christians kind of get lost in their pride.
No, I definitely.
And I'm like, you need to calm your tits, honestly. All right, let's move on. So the audience for the visions that Daniel saw are those who were living at the time of the restructuring, as well as those who will be living at the end of time. So,
okay,
depending on which side of the fence you're on or the middle of the fence.
Considering that basically Christians at any given generation think it's the end of time, I guess that audience is always the audience.
Yes.
Right?
Daniel is always going to be their favorite.
It's great. It works out well.
Yeah. The audience for the entire book would have likely been Jews who were under an oppressive ruler, which that makes sense. We've talked about that. Like, it was supposed to be kind of giving them a sense of country pride and culture pride and getting them back together and excited to become one people again. Got it. After having lived under oppression and had been scattered, smothered, covered to the winds.
Sure.
The audience for the book also would have likely, I just said that, Jews who were under an oppressive ruler.
Yeah.
So, however, even the Jews later living under strict Hellenistic or Roman rule would have found inspiration and comfort from the examples of Daniel and his three friends, which that's because that falls in the same period when they would have wanted that pride in country that they were not able to live at that moment.
Right.
Okay, so the main theme of both sections of the book as a whole is perseverance during a time of mass persecution and cultural genocide.
Right.
And when we say cultural genocide, what we mean is that these people were forced to give up their cultural identity in how they eat, how they learn, how they worship, and how they pray. That's different, obviously, from a out and out, straight up genocide.
Right.
It's kind of what Americans did to the Native American. On top of the attempted out and out genocide, they did a very strong cultural genocide.
Yeah.
And trying to adopt them into a very white nation.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to recover from that grotesque history.
Right.
Those who resisted these problems of, having all of their culture stripped away, those who resisted that, they would face pain or even execution. So they didn't have a lot of choice, and anybody who was reading these stories and found that cultural pride would have benefited from it spiritually just on that level alone.
Right.
Kind of like when you're feeling sad about the state of America, but then you read a poem by Amanda Gorman.
Yeah.
And she fills your heart with pride, and you're like, there's my America.
No,
there it is.
I love having things.
Oh, that sounded like I'm comparing how we are today with the plight of the Israelites or the Jewish people. And I do not mean to indicate that at all, just to be clear. Like, I'm not trying to downplay the suffering of other cultures in the past. Sorry.
Right. No, I didn't think you were, but
No, sure, I panicked for a minute thinking like, my God, I probably just sounded like, woe is me, white person. And I did not mean to indicate that at all.
No, but you mentioned Amanda Gorman, and I always appreciate, I love her work. And more than that, though, not just her, I appreciate someone reframing an idea to rekindle an idea that I once held, or or at least to make me re-examine it. Yeah. Right. And I love it when someone makes you think through their words or through their art. Yes. In a way that makes you examine how you've changed and what you are now versus what you thought before. And that's to me what art is it makes you examine those ideas in yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate people like that are able to draw that out of us. I mean, I think that she's amazing.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what I meant. Not that we as Americans today can relate to that, what the Israelites or later the Jews in the Holocaust went through. Obviously, no comparison. I meant the cultural rekindling of pride in a nation where that pride has been stripped or removed somehow. That feeling could be similar.
Sure.
Not as detrimental, but similar feelings.
Yeah.
So sorry for the backpedaling. I want it very clear that I am not trying to step on anybody's toes or erase the pain of history.
Yeah.
That is not mine.
You and I get off on tangents sometimes, and it's easy to get lost in what we're, just talking about.
Yeah.
And kind of we sometimes misstep, so it's better to clarify than to not.
Sure. So. And that's why I interrupted you. So apologies for cutting you off. It just I panicked for a minute.
You're fine.
All right, let's move on. Run away. Let's talk a little bit more history. This is just a little bit more to add to what we already covered in that history that we did over Daniel's final visions.
Yeah.
That was an intense episode.
Okay, we're not going to do 2 hours tonight,
We're not doing that,
okay.
No.
All right, great.
This is just a little bit more interesting stuff that I found that I was like, I'll add that in.
Sure.
Okay. So the visions of chapters 7 through 12 reflect the crisis which took place in Judea in 167 to 164 BCE when Antiochus IV Epiphanes, the Greek king of the Seleucid Empire, threatened to destroy traditional Jewish worship in Jerusalem.
Right.
Okay. And when...
Well, not just threatened, but it actively was doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He didn't just threaten it. He did do that.
Yeah.
When Antiochus came to the throne in 175 BCE, the Jews were largely pro-Seleucid. Remember, they chose him at first. And they were like, let's throw our weight with this guy.
Yeah. Well, because he was bribing people and he was trying to make friends with everybody to get into power.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because he was the vile guy that nobody could stand later once they knew him for what he was.
Right.
The Seleucid Empire was founded in 312 BCE by the Macedonian general Seleucus I. Do you remember how we did that whole history? And how it mattered because there were several Seleucuses all the way down to the fourth?
I mean, I do vaguely. If you're asking me to recount the actual history that we went over, then...
no, that was too much.
We're going to be here for a while because I'll have to go back and, re-listen.
Yeah, no, that was too many names. I'm just saying, remember that there was a Seleucus, and that's what the Seleucid Empire is.
Yeah.
Following the division of the Macedonian Empire that was founded by Alexander the Great.
Right.
So remember, there was Alexander the Great, and then suddenly he died, and then...
Yes. Split into 4 sections, and yada, yada, yada.
4 horns, and then a little horn.
Back and forth, north and south, whatever.
Yeah, the king of the north, king of the south, Jon Snow.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we did it. So the high priestly family was split by rivalry, and one member, Jason, offered the king a large sum of money to be made high priest. Now remember, we heard that Antiochus sold the priesthood, but we never heard about the other side of it, the person who bought the priesthood.
Right.
Remember, we heard Antiochus was like, he was like vile, and he was like honeying up to people, and then like he was weird because he would like pop up in bathroom and bathhouses, and he was trying to like rent office space, and he was just weird, throwing money at people like, surprise, I don't know you, here's a present.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the horrible things he did was sell the priesthood, the high priest office.
Yeah.
And so this guy, Jason, was like, yo, I would totally like to buy that. Okay. So Jason also asked, or more accurately, he paid to be allowed to make Jerusalem a polis, which is a Greek city. Oh. So he's like, hey, so I want to be the total head priest. Does that sound good? Here's like $5 million or whatever the going rate is. Okay. And then also on top of that, could Jerusalem be like, I don't know, a Greek city that I get to be in charge of? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. So he's basically paying to be in charge of a city that he wants to make Greek, so he's going to convert them all and force them to be Greek.
Yeah.
Is that's basically the gist of it?
That is the gist of it, yeah.
Okay.
So this meant, among other things, that city government would be in the hands of the citizens. Because that's what a Greek city was at the time, which actually sounds
It doesn't sound like that would work out very well for him, though, with regard to converting them to Greek culture.
Right.
So that could be a problem.
Yeah. This would have also meant, in turn, that citizenship would be a valuable commodity that you would have to purchase from Jason.
Oh, I see. I see.
So he was like combining like Greek democracy with like Roman capitalism and being like, this is awesome. I love this plan. Let us do this.
Well, if you have to buy your citizenship, he can choose who he wants to be citizens
It's
to.
a club.
Right? So yeah.
This is not a city. This is a gated community. Right?
I mean, to be fair, we kind of do that. I mean, you don't automatically get to be a citizen just because you're in the United States.
No, it's true.
You have to pay taxes, and you have to have at least a birthright, and things like that. So it's not an automatic club just by living here.
No, have you heard about those poor kids who they were homeschooled? They were birthed at home. Their birth was never recorded. They were homeschooled, so they never had shot records or anything, no school records.
Man.
They quote unquote graduated, but they don't have any
Social
records of
security
that.
numbers, nothing.
So they have no social security numbers, and now they are like having to jump through hoops. There's like a whole generation of kids now out there, basically millennials, the majority of them, who are online. They're in Reddit asking for help. Does anybody know how
to fix this?
Who do I contact? How do I contact?
Right.
And like, I can so relate to that because I wasn't born
in the United States.
Well, yeah, I was born on American soil overseas.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
A hospital that no longer exists. And I had a consulate report of birth of an American abroad, because my dad was Air Force, but my mom had to go to a hospital in Germany to have me, even though my dad was stationed in Italy. And so I had a birth certificate that was sent later after the announcement of the birth abroad. Right. And because I moved so often, I fucking misplaced both of those documents, which I hated myself. I have since found them. Yeah. But during this time period, my driver's license had expired, and I hadn't driven for like 3 or 4.
This was a debacle.
This was a debacle. I hadn't driven for 3 or 4 months, so I didn't realize, because I had also misplaced my driver's license. Yeah. I didn't realize that it expired while it was misplaced. Yeah. So in order to get my driver's license, I needed my birth certificate. But to get my birth certificate, I needed ID, like, for example, a driver's license. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And moreover, I had been married and divorced in Hawaii, where I was stationed in the Army. And I needed that because it had proof of a last name change. And I couldn't get that without either. So I had to have my mom contact the Hawaii consulate to ask for that on my behalf. And then I had to contact the American consulate in Washington, D.C. To have them reissue my announcement of birth abroad.
Yeah, we had to get our congressperson involved.
Yeah, I contacted my congressperson. They're the ones that set me up with the consulate in DC. Like, it was a whole fucking mess. Yeah. And that's me with military background through my dad and through myself, fingerprinted because I had a security clearance while I was in the military. White American, like, I had every privilege in the world. I have family I could ask for help, and it was still a goat screw.
Oh, it was.
So I cannot imagine what these poor kids are going through. Yeah. So way off topic, but just wanted to put that out there. Sorry. All right. So none of this stuff threatened with Jason asking, hey, can I make my own gated community and be in charge of it? None of this threatened the Jewish religion. And the reforms were widely welcomed because the Jewish people were like, yeah, that's fine with us. Hope that works out because we'll pay for membership into this club. Sure. Especially among the Jerusalem aristocracy and the leading priests.
Yeah.
So they were for it. But 3 years later, Jason was deposed when another priest, Menelaus, offered Antiochus an even larger sum for the post of high priest.
It's the problem with bought posts.
It's the problem with bought anything. Yeah. You buy anything and somebody can always pay more.
Right.
Yep. If you're for sale, the question is not what did you buy and how much? The question is how much is somebody else willing to pay?
Right. Yeah.
Antiochus invaded Egypt twice in 169 BCE with success. But then on the second incursion in late 168 BC, he was forced to withdraw by the Romans.
Got it.
Okay. Now, Jason, remember, he's the one that just had got outbought.
Yeah.
He heard a rumor that Antiochus was dead. So he's like, fuck yeah. So he went over and attacked Menelaus because he's like, I'm going to get my high priesthood back. I liked that neighborhood.
Right.
My gated community. Oopsie. Guess who wasn't dead? Antiochus.
That's
womp,
a problem.
womp.
Yeah.
So Antiochus drove Jason out of Jerusalem, plundered the temple, and introduced measures to pacify his Egyptian border by imposing complete Hellenization. So he turned it all Greek.
Got it.
The Jewish book of the law, meaning the Torah, the instruction, was prohibited. And on very specific date, 15 December 167 BCE. This is historical, not supposition. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
The abomination of desolation, probably a Greek altar, was introduced into the temple.
Okay.
Okay. So this actually happened
under
Antiochus, and this is why it happened. This is the story behind that story.
Got it.
I just thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
So the Jewish religion is now clearly under threat at this point.
Sure.
Right? So a resistance movement sprang up led by the Maccabee brothers.
Right.
And we want to read Maccabees. Those are not in the Bible that we're reading. So we're going to have to get a hold of a different Bible version or something because I got to read about these Maccabees.
And it must not have taken very long because you said this was 167 BCE and the Maccabee Revolution started in 165 BCE, didn't it?
I honestly don't know.
I'm almost certain that's correct.
I have no idea because I do not do numbers.
Got it.
So over the next 3 years, the Maccabees and their whole resistance movement won sufficient victories over Antiochus to take back and purify the temple. So they won.
Yeah.
So spoilers, okay? Whenever we get to that, now we know how it ends. The daily offering, which used to take place twice a day at morning and evening, stopped. So that was one of the things Antiochus did to strip them of their culture.
Yeah.
The phrase evenings and mornings recurs throughout the chapters of Daniel as a reminder of the missed sacrifices.
And I remember we actually got into an argument in one of the episodes about, they were saying the morning and the evening at sacrifices and 2,000 or 1,000, whatever.
Yeah.
So, that was, it was brought up quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
Okay.
So that specific event caused the specific word choice in the book of Daniel.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So whereas the events leading up to the sacking of the temple in 167 BCE and the immediate aftermath are remarkably accurate, the predicted war between the Syrians and the Egyptians, oopsie, never took place. That didn't happen.
Okay.
So, whatevs. That prophecy that Antiochus would die in Palestine? It didn't happen. He died in Persia.
It's funny. So I think we kind of touched on this when we were going through it, that the prophecies that happened to the things that they wrote before the time period where they wrote it were specifically correct, right?
Yeah.
But then you could kind of tell when they transitioned into these future prophecies where
some came true.
Something's this is going to happen over here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, is it though?
Well, the most probable conclusion is that the account must have been completed near the end of the reign of Antiochus.
Sure.
So that's
why.
Well,
I think we talked about that too. The Maccabee Revolution happened in 165, I think, is what I recall. And so if that's true, it sounds to me like that's probably about the time frame that this was all
cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So it would have been completed near the end of his reign, but before Antiochus's death in December 164 BCE.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or at least before the news of it reached Jerusalem.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the consensus of modern scholarship is accordingly that the book dates to the period 167 to 163 BCE.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
The end of Daniel, except for the "you're always
Right.
wrong."
Yeah. We gotta have our contradictions episode
Yep.
still.
Yep.
And then that will finish us up with the whole book of Daniel.
Yep. Yep.
And then you said we're getting into Hosea?
Hosea.
Hypothetically, unless we decide whatever.
Yeah.
Probably Hosea.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
all right. So we'll have that out. Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday,
So
so,
we'll have
this will
that
come
out
out on Thursday.
Right. And then Friday will be our contradictions episode. And then,
So I think Sunday we will probably do a book club.
okay.
And then on Monday we'll start Hosea.
Okay. That
Sound
that
good?
sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
So we might take a day off on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds fair.
My mouth is
I
still
think,
jacked
I
up.
think we
so-
deserve a day off. You know, that's good. I'm all for it.
Good.
I say we do it.
Okay, let's do it. I like
All
this
right.
plan.
But only if Eli gets on Discord.
I hope Eli gets on Discord.
Eli,
I need a
we're
break.
counting on you. Get on Discord.
I mean, we won't know until next Wednesday.
I know, right?
So,
Well, I mean, we get on Discord in between.
well, that's true.
So
I thought you were talking about the live.
No, yeah. But
Got
no, Eli gets his ass on Discord.
Get your ass on Discord.
And the
Eli.
rest of you too.
Yes.
The lives are such fun. So get over here and maybe we'll mention somebody else, next time.
Yeah, we'll yell at other
We're just going to
people.
call out people individually until everybody's on there. And that's how this is going to work, okay?
Yeah, so if we don't call you out, you should be sad, honestly.
Yeah, right.
Because we call out people whose name we know.
Yeah, we actually, there's 2 people here tonight that we called out to get them in here. So,
Because we are those assholes.
all right. So that was the wrap up for the book of Daniel.
Sure as fuck was.
And we'll be back tomorrow with our contradictions episode.
You're always wrong.
That's the one. So we will see you then.
Bye. Husband,
Wife,
do you know what we're doing today?
we are officially wrapping up the book of Daniel.
I mean, we already wrapped it up. Today, what
Right,
we're doing
right,
is
yeah.
you're always wrong.
Sorry, I was wrong.
You were wrong.
Because I used the wrong words. And I said wrap it up, which
What
we
you
already,
meant
like I said,
was-
you said we already did that. We did.
What you meant was we're doing our final Daniel episode and then we're moving the fuck on.
Technically, I do still have the weekly recap. So,
Of course.
kind of the last one. But yes.
We're recording.
The last recorded episode is today.
Yeah.
So this is it for Daniel.
Yeah, fuck Daniel.
So so I'm gonna be right today, right?
Nope.
Fuck.
You're always wrong.
All right. Are you ready to get into the contradictions?
I sure as fuck am.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, honey, are you ready to get into this? You're always wrong.
Honey,
Yeah.
you've literally you don't call me that normally
That's not
here.
true. Okay.
And then not often.
I
don't
call you
think
that-
I don't think you've ever
I've
called me that
never-
on the air.
I've never called you that on the air, but
I'm calling you out on it because I'm like, what?
I know you
Honey.
looked at me like, the fuck? I do call you that in real life. Off
Sometimes.
mic. Not
Sometimes.
Normally, I call you babe
Right.
or boyfriend.
Yeah, so no, it was not completely unheard of in real life, but it was definitely out of character if it was real life. It was completely unheard of on the podcast. This is a first.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I was like, what? Well,
And then you were just looking at me like, the fuck?
because I'm like, what are you doing? What
Honey.
happened there?
Honey,
Yeah.
are you ready to do You're Always Wrong?
Yes.
See, I started you off.
Right.
Now you're discombobulated.
Well, I was arguing with my wife, so I was definitely wrong right there.
Yeah.
That was bad start. Well, no, I guess if I'm always wrong, that's a good start.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
wrong.
You're discombobulated
Yeah.
and flustered.
Sure. You just set me off with the right tone. That's all.
Exactly.
Okay. All
Exactly.
right. Fair enough.
All right, number one. And this is a short one. We only have 3 questions
Oh,
here.
wow.
Because, Daniel's kind of like...
Story form.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
really
not-
fit in.
Yeah.
So these are all kind of like, we're just going to have fun with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 1, is it okay to drink alcohol? Yes or no? Those are your choices.
I'm gonna go with no. Based on the people that came into town when who was it? It was Jeremiah, and he was praising the people. I can't remember what the name of the tribe was, but they didn't drink, and they would.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it was specific. I think. Look, I think that I know people drink that were godly, so obviously people did it, but I feel like maybe it's not right. I don't know.
Well, in Numbers, the Nazarites, like in Numbers chapter 6, the Nazarites were not supposed to drink.
Okay.
And then in Isaiah chapter 28, the priests and prophets were not supposed to drink.
Okay.
And then in Daniel, who is one of God's favorite people, right?
Yeah.
In chapter 1, he's like, no, thank you, I'm not supposed to drink.
So it's just certain people then.
And then Proverbs warns us all about drinking alcohol in chapter 20 and chapter 23.
Oh.
They're like, don't.
Okay. All right.
I think that was more don't drink it to excess.
Right.
But
that's the words that get tossed around mostly. But they definitely, there is a stigma associated with drinking.
Well, when me and you were getting married, there was a minute when my parents were thinking about not coming to our reception because there would be alcohol there.
Right.
And we were like, what?
Yep.
What? So, I mean, there are Christians who think that the Bible says don't drink.
Yeah. No,
So-
I don't. Whatever.
And then
you can think that if you want to. And they might even say that, but like.
But then we're also going to show that they are also always wrong.
Yeah.
In addition to Proverbs mentioning don't do it, Isaiah also warns us about drinking alcohol in chapters 5 and 28.
Got it. Why doesn't the Bible warn us about heroin?
It hadn't been invented yet.
But it's God. God should know about that.
God didn't talk to people about things that they would know nothing about.
Okay.
It didn't impact his people. So he knew, he just kept it to himself.
All right.
For reasons.
Maybe so. Magic mushrooms just grow wild. Were those okay? Did God approve those? Is that what Moses was on when he went? I doubt it. I know they're out west. I don't know.
I honestly have no idea.
But they existed on the planet, and God made the planet, so they existed in that time.
But much like heroin, if it didn't grow where his chosen people were, it didn't impact them, and that is the reason. God doesn't mention things to the people. Right. That's the apologist perspective.
Okay.
The reason that God doesn't talk to his people about things that he should know about is not that he didn't know about them. It's that he didn't drown his people in information that they didn't need to know.
Got it. Okay.
So he also didn't talk to them about Netflix and chill or Facebook.
Right,
and how boomers should stay off of it and stuff like that.
I got it. Yeah.
All right, but guess what, dear?
Dear. Okay. Yeah. What?
You're always wrong.
Okay.
Because guess what? Of course you can drink alcohol. It's fine.
Right.
I mean, Proverbs, I always hate quoting Proverbs because that's just like a collection of poems or whatever.
Yeah, it seems just like kind of like the fake Bible.
It is, in my opinion.
It's like, here's a bunch of collections of shit. We didn't know where else to put them.
It's neither history nor story.
Right.
And that's why in Jewish books, they call it falls in the writings.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's
right.
Stuff.
Sure.
It's the poetry section of the Bible.
But people ascribe a lot of meaning to those, especially in Christianity. I don't know how they do. I don't know how much meaning is ascribed to them in Judaism because I don't really you don't ever hear about those from a Jewish person.
Really only hear about the Tanakh and then history.
Right.
You don't really hear about the writings and you don't hear a lot about the prophets, honestly.
That would be an interesting discussion, I feel like. Talking about the things that are in the Jewish texts and how their take on them differ from the Christian version, we know that there are different things that you guys have a lot of the same stuff, but there's a few things that you have that they don't and vice versa. Right.
But that is even a different matter than, but how do you feel about those things?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you start a new job, right? And you get the company handbook. So you know going in what all the rules are.
Yeah.
But you don't know the actual practice and feeling of
Well, that's
the
why you
rules.
ask the person next to you, like, hey, what really matters here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know that this says that we wear pink on Wednesdays, but like, how strict is that?
Right.
Or like, sometimes you'll go to a place and they're like, you absolutely have to wear black pants. And they stress that at the fucking interview. So you go in thinking, oh my God, I need to go get black pants. And so then you go shopping and you buy like 3 or 4 pair of black pants.
And then you walk in, you're the only fucking person wearing black pants.
And they're like, oh, we don't take that seriously. You don't need to. And you're like, then what the fuck?
Right. Yeah.
So there's knowing the rules and there's knowing what's in the Bible, but then there's but how do you feel about that? And how are these rules actually practiced?
Yeah.
Kind of like don't murder and don't run a red light. Those are both rules, but we take don't murder a lot more seriously. Like, you get punished a lot more hardcore than the don't run a red light.
Right.
I mean, you get in trouble, but you don't. Hypothetically,
I mean, to be fair, I've run a red light in downtown Dayton.
You did accidentally.
I don't drive cities very well.
No, like, you don't.
There's too many fucking lights. Like, you look ahead of you, and I'm looking at like 2 lights ahead, and I miss the one that's like right there. And
also, you have turned down the one way going the wrong way more than once. More than once. And that's with me in the car. So I shudder to think how bad you are if I'm not in the car.
But am I or am I not? Generally. Other than cities, downtowns.
Other than downtowns, you are the, by far, safest driver I know, besides Kid.
Right.
Either one of you, I feel perfectly safe and comfortable being the passenger, and I'm a nervous passenger.
Right. So, I just don't navigate downtowns very well.
You don't.
I don't. Really don't. It's too much. It's too much input. It's too much. It's overload.
I think it hurts your ADHD brain.
Probably, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about how, drinking is fine. And Proverbs says that wine is a gift from God in chapter 9 of Proverbs.
Okay.
And then God actually likes to have a little dranky poo too.
Does he?
According to Exodus chapter 29, Numbers chapter 15, and Judges chapter 9.
Huh.
Oh, he likes to get his drink on.
All right.
And then the Bible tells us to drink abundantly with our foreskins uncovered. In Song of Solomon, chapter 5, which I forgot about.
Foreskins uncovered?
Cocks out. Rock out with your cock out.
All right.
Haven't you ever heard that?
Yeah, no, I have. I have heard
Bible.
that. But
Rock out with your cock out is in the Bible.
I didn't know the original was. Yeah. Okay.
It's in Song of Solomon. What? Everybody knows that.
God.
I mean,
this Bible is so fucking weird. I mean, it just really is.
Hang on to that thought, because since we only have 3 questions for today, I saw something that took me down a rabbit hole. Like, you follow the link and then you read a thing, and it made me laugh.
Okay.
So hold on to that thought.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Rock out with your cock out and foreskins uncovered as you drink.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2. What kind of animals may we eat? Here's your choices. Ready?
Oh, okay. I get choices.
None. It depends. Or any.
I'm going to go, wow, there's 3 choices, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird, so there must be 3. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with it depends.
Okay.
Because there was definitely the cloven hoof stuff and all that.
That's the one I'm about to say. Yeah.
Right.
According to Deuteronomy and Leviticus, don't eat animals that chew the cud or divide the hoof.
Right.
So, yeah, obviously you're right. But guess what?
Okay.
You're always wrong.
Okay.
So now what's your answer? What kind of animals may we eat? None or any?
I'm gonna go with any, I guess, because why would we not be able to eat animals?
Right.
Understand.
I mean,
that.
God agrees, because after the flood in Genesis, vegan days were done and over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Eat what you like.
Sure.
And then in Deuteronomy chapter 12, God gives permission to eat all the animals.
I mean, they literally keep animals to eat in flock. I mean, they have them all over the place.
Yeah.
They slaughter them for their God.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, all right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but guess what?
What?
You're still always wrong.
I call bullshit on that.
Because guess what kind of animals we may eat?
What kind?
None.
I don't understand. I don't remember this.
According to Genesis, Proverbs, and the book of Daniel.
The fuck?
You should only eat no animals.
You're gonna have to go over this with me because I missed this. I don't understand what this is.
Well, in Genesis, before the flood, it was like, everything grows in the planet for you. You don't need to.
Sure.
You don't need to kill to eat.
Was this because they were taking on animals that they can't eat onto the ark?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Know. But I feel like that was like circumstantial.
All I know is that prior to the flood, he was like, don't eat animals.
Right, but that
and then after the flood, he was like, you can eat some animals.
But that could have been circumstantial because there's only two of every animal, so you don't want to eat the fucking.
You don't want to eat any of them.
Right. But that would be problematic.
But after the flood, when they all got off the ark, he was like, fine, eat the fucking animals.
Which you would think would still be problematic.
It would be more problematic. Because when they were like, just, living in town or like herding their animals, or even prior to that, Garden of Eden or whatever.
Yeah.
They were vegetarians.
But remember how quickly Cain populated the world. So, shit apparently happened so quick,
I mean, I have to wonder, like, if it wasn't 9 months of pregnancy.
I mean, it, like, went from him and his mom to, like, cities in no time flat.
Cities.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so gross. Anyway, and so then Proverbs, again, I hate to quote as it says there, but it does. It says be vegan. I mean, it doesn't use the word vegan, but it says don't eat meat, bitch.
What does it say exactly?
Don't eat meat, bitch.
It does not say don't eat meat, bitch. You're wrong this time.
I did not copy down the exact phrase because you have told me in the past that I put too many quotes in these episodes.
I see, but I was curious. I want to know about that. Which passage is it?
I didn't even
write down the passage?
Not on this one because there were 3 different answers.
Okay.
And so I wasn't going to write them down.
I just figured since we only had 3 questions, you could...
Okay, listen. You give me instructions and I follow them. You make complaints and I change the format to make you happy.
Right.
So I'm sorry. I am always wrong. And then in Daniel, it's not that it tells us don't eat meat.
Okay.
It's just that Daniel is like, oh no, we can't eat meat. Now, I don't necessarily think that's the best example. I think that Daniel was turning down Nebuchadnezzar's meat. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was, again, circumstantial.
It had been sacrificed or blessed to another god. Yeah. Now, we don't know that. That was something that was suggested in one of our Q&A episodes as to why he would have turned down Nebuchadnezzar's food from his table.
Okay, all right.
And the answer was because it had probably already been blessed to Nebuchadnezzar's god. But it doesn't say that, though. So Daniel was like, no, we don't eat meat. Thanks. Sorry. And like told the guard, can we just like do veg? Just let us do it for a week.
Sure. Yeah. No, I remember that. But again, that was
circumstantial.
It was circumstantial.
Yeah.
And I just did was it Psalms or Proverbs you said the other one was in?
Psalms.
No,
I'm sorry, Proverbs.
Okay. Yeah. Because I just did a search for both just to see if I could come up with the passage because I am curious.
All right. I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
It is Proverbs chapter 23, verse 20. And it says, be not among wine bibbers. Like,
okay.
I guess people that drink a lot of wine and shit.
Sure.
Among riotous eaters of flesh.
But so riotous eaters of flesh, though.
Don't be eating that flesh.
Right, but riotous seems to indicate that you shouldn't overindulge, not necessarily not eat at all.
I mean, I guess it depends on, does the adjective riotous belong to the eaters of flesh, or does it belong to the eaters who are happening to eat flesh? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Is it riotous eaters, of flesh?
Right.
Or is it riotous eaters of flesh?
Got it. Okay.
Like, I don't know. Adjectives are hard sometimes.
Right. I still feel like this is a questionable, I'm always wrong. That's all.
Well, you're right.
Ooh. Oh, hey.
Fair enough. All
We're going to have to change the name of this episode.
I wouldn't go that
always
far.
Right, Huh?
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, there were several different answers to what kind of meat you can eat. And mostly you should either not or be very discretionary about what kind of meat you eat.
Okay.
And don't do it in large quantities.
Of course, according to the Bible, not according to us.
Yeah. No.
So.
Yeah, sorry. Don't be riotous.
You go get that turkey leg at the Ren Fair. You know?
I did too. That was the whole reason I wanted to go to the Ren Fest. I needed to walk around with a giant turkey leg.
Right.
And then you know what sucked?
What's that?
It didn't even taste that good.
I thought it tasted like ham.
Yeah.
I was weird. I thought it was good, but I was not expecting to bite into a leg of ham.
Yeah, it tasted like ham, and it didn't taste like it was fully cooked to me. Like, I wanted some kind of Thanksgiving turkey leg.
Sure, Sure.
I wanted it
that's
to
what
be...
I was expecting to bite into turkey.
Yeah.
It was not that.
I don't think it was turkey.
It almost felt like
lied.
It almost felt like a mixture of meats. It was really weird.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big leg of something.
It definitely was.
But it did not taste like turkey.
Right.
And I was very distraught because that's like all I wanted. We went the year that they had a TARDIS.
They did.
And we got pictures of Kid and their cousin, my sister's youngest.
Yeah.
With one of the doctors.
Well, that was just a random person.
It was the doctor, and I don't want to hear your bullshit.
Oh, okay.
And it was the real TARDIS.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That happened.
That's what happened there.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to hear your bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the actual doctor with the actual TARDIS.
We're literally here criticizing the Bible.
Okay, but I'm aware that I'm pretending.
Okay. All right.
And, when pressed, I'm admitting it. But this is my world, and in my world, that sound that the TARDIS makes is wondrous. Did you ever hear that story of the girl who was like asleep in her car in a parking garage? She was like between meetings or something, and she was just like resting her eyes and napping, and her windows were down, and all of a sudden she heard the sound of the TARDIS, and she woke up and like leaped out of her car and screamed, "Wait, I'm here, I'm ready." But it was just somebody's ringtone.
Wait, this is for real?
Yes.
That's hilarious. Where did you see that at?
I don't know. The internet.
Okay. All right.
It was something that was going around on Facebook for a while, and all I could think was, but I understand that
feel
feeling.
like that was put on. I
don't
feel
know.
like that was like a setup scenario.
I don't know, because I could totally see me doing that. Like, I'm coming out of a sleep, and the other night, right? I had this nightmare that this giant spider was on me, like the size of like a kitten.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to the point that like I can still imagine how its claw felt through the blanket and through my shirt. And so in my sleep, I was calling for a kid to come help me to get this thing off of me. And I was like very proud of myself because I was like not panicking. I was being very still because I did not want this son of a bitch spider to like kill me.
Right.
And the only problem is that I have sleep paralysis where sometimes as I'm coming awake, my mind wakes before my body, even though my mind is still in a dream state.
Right.
So my mind was trying to force my mouth to move. And of course, my mouth wouldn't move because my body was, frozen in sleep state.
Yeah.
And so I've done this often enough that I was aware, I'm dreaming. So instead of continuing to try to force my mouth to move, I rolled quickly off of the bed and threw the blanket across the room so that when I did wake up, I was like on the floor kind of dazed, like, wait, was there a spider? And like logically I knew there's no fucking spider that big unless you're in Australia.
Right.
So I was shaking out the blankets. But my point to that very long, irrelevant, stupid story is that when I'm coming out of a sleep and I have just dreamt something that feels real or that feels like something that I want to be true.
Right.
It can feel real. So I could see that happening.
Got it. Well, to your story, I actually had something land on me tonight. Mm-hmm. And it landed on my fucking forehead. Oh. And it was a stink bug.
Oh my
Only
gosh.
I didn't know that before I squished it on my fucking forehead. That was terrible.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
It was terrible.
That's sad.
It stunk.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was a stink bug,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But why did the stink bug have to land on my forehead?
I don't know.
It's not fair.
So sorry.
It's not fair.
That's not fair. But
No.
I mean, yesterday I tripped walking up concrete steps.
That's not fair either. Yeah.
And not only did I trip going up concrete steps, the thing that I was going, like, kid was taking me out for boba tea.
Yeah.
And when I finally got my legs under me, it turns out that the place we were going was closed for, I can't remember this word. It was closed
Renovation.
for renovation. I keep wanting to say reconstruction. No, it was closed for renovation. So, like, I broke my legs for nothing.
But you did end up getting boba tea.
Well, yeah, because me and Kit went somewhere else.
Right.
But I'm just saying, yeah, I feel you. It's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair.
I didn't get anything for squishing a stink bug on my forehead.
Well, you cleaned your face and got the stink bug off of it.
There is that. Yeah, that was, yeah. So I still don't feel like that's a fair trade-off.
But you weren't going somewhere in the first place.
No, I wasn't.
You were just standing there.
Right.
So, I mean, that's not the same.
Right.
That's not the same at all.
No.
But I got boba because that's what I was going for.
Right.
All right. So, number 3.
Yeah.
Is death final?
Ooh.
That's a hard one. Your choices are yes or no.
Yeah, no, I know. So I'm going to go with my perspective, and that's that, yes, it is absolutely final.
All right. Well, I mean, of course you're right, because in Joshua chapter 23, they mention that the dead are going the way of all the earth.
Yeah.
And then in Isaiah chapter 26, it says they are dead. They shall not live. They are deceased. They shall not rise.
Right.
And then, I mean, we got this in Psalms and Job and Ecclesiastes, those writings.
Sure.
I lumped them all into one little group where they mention dead is dead, bitches.
Right.
Okay.
But then I also know...
You're always wrong.
Right. We end up talking about fucking zombies.
We get zombies.
a million goddamn times in this Bible.
We have zombies up in here.
Zombies for days.
Remember how I said just now that in Isaiah chapter 26, it says they are dead, they shall not live, they are deceased, they shall not rise?
Right.
Guess what? Just kidding. In that same fucking verse.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, that same fucking chapter, not verse, the same chapter.
Yeah.
It says, the dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they rise. Fucking zombies.
Okay.
And then in Ezekiel chapter 37, it says, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel.
Got it.
Fucking zombies. And then in Daniel, which is the whole point of this, chapter 12, it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
And then at the time, we talked about how that was kind of a weird, it was a newer way of
talking about
relating
the rapture or something?
relating to afterlife, and essentially, like it's a more modern, with regard to the Bible, it's a more modern take.
It's closer to the Christian view.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's closer to Christian times.
Right, but we're still talking about zombies, though.
I know. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking dead people walking around.
Fucking stupid. How about that?
Yeah.
Fucking
no,
stupid.
I agree.
All right. So that's all the questions that I have, but I promised a joke.
Okay.
All right. So one of the links that I read led me to another link, to another link, to another link.
Sure.
And I came across something that said, what does Jesus have written on his testicles?
Oh.
And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Okay, here's the thing. I know we're not here yet, but just something to hold on to.
Yeah.
In the book of Revelation, which is the final book of the New Testament.
Sure.
So the last book of the entire Bible.
Right.
Again, we're not there yet.
Not even close.
Right. But there's a verse in there that says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Okay.
We don't know what a thigh is in the Bible.
Right.
So, okay, so this is a whole conversation, and this guy says, okay, I'm not so sure about this. Jesus might not have anything written on his testicles, but he does have something written on his thigh, at least if you believe the book of Revelation.
Right.
And then he says, but since thigh is a biblical euphemism for testicle, it may literally be that Jesus has King of Kings and Lord of Lords tattooed on his testicles or, his scrotum or whatever. Wouldn't that be so cool? I'll bet he has King of Kings on one side and Lord of Lords on the other.
Oh, I see.
He's the type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, okay, so then somebody, or I'm sorry, he went on to say, and it would go well with the rest of his outfit. And then he describes more Jesus-y stuff, which I'm not going to read because, again, we're not there yet.
Right.
But then somebody commented on that, wow, that's scary. So on Judgment Day, you'll know it's Jesus if some scary fella teabags you and you see writing on his sack. Got it. And then somebody said, wonder if the Magdalene has a tramp stamp too. Okay.
No, we could make it a thing. Like, if enough people believe that Jesus had these things tattooed on his balls, maybe Christians will go out and start getting their balls tattooed, right?
Oh, you should have seen all of the Christians commenting how horrible this was. And they're like, dude, I'm just reading the fucking Bible.
Right, yeah.
Literally, it says this. And we all know that thigh, and then Christians were like, where does it say that thigh means testicles?
I was about to say, the Christians don't know a goddamn thing about what their Bible says, or means or anything.
And the thing is, it doesn't say that thigh actually means testicle. Right. You would have to actually study outside of the Bible, and they frown on that.
Well, study outside the Bible and understand the translations as they've come down through time and everything like that.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. And what they would say instead of your fucking nutsack.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody else said, could this tattoo be what Catholic priests zealously look for when hiring a new altar boy?
Oh, Jesus. That's horrible.
Yes, that is horrible.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you can edit that out if you want. That might be one step too far.
It is. We're going to leave it in, but damn.
Yeah. And, so those were the jokes that I found that I had to share just because I had dick on the brain.
Oh, yeah.
Because it said, the whole rock out with your cock out thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. And foreskins.
Okay. All right.
As you're drinking your alcohol, you got to drink it surrounded by foreskins.
Right. You didn't want to beat around the bush. You just kind of stopped dicking around and, pulled out the jokes. So, yeah. I got it.
Exactly.
All right.
You cracked it open.
Anyway, enough of that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you got anything else for us today, or is that
absolutely not? That
absolutely
was way
not.
too far.
All right.
Way too many.
Yeah. So that was our Contradictions episode.
Sure as fuck was.
And that means we are done with Daniel.
Fuck Daniel all the way to Mars and back, and hopefully Josiah is better. Hosea.
Hosea.
One of them dudes.
Right.
Whatever.
You were like mixing like Jeremiah with whatever. I don't know what you were doing.
I don't either. Isaiah and Jeremiah. Yeah. Josiah.
It was like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger or something coming together to whatever.
I mean, we all know that my brain can't hold too many things at once.
Yeah.
And I'm still stuck on foreskins. I can't be expected to get the name Hosea straight when I'm thinking about dicks.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
I appreciate that.
All right. I think that's all we got today, guys.
You sure as fuck is.
We'll be back. I'll get the weekly wrap up out here. On Sunday we're gonna do a book club. Right. Sorry. So book club on Sunday,
and then the weekly
I'll get the weekly wrap up out, and then on Monday we'll be back with.
Foreskins chapter 1. No, Hosea chapter 1.
My wife literally gave a blank stare for a minute, even after we just said the name of the book of the Bible. I just had to point that out.
Well.
All right, guys. Have a good day. Well, bye.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know what we're doing today?
Something we haven't done in quite a while, actually.
I know. It was weird. Like, I don't even know where all my notes were. I had to find everything.
This is the one thing that we kind of slough off whenever we don't have our weekend put together correctly. So we apologize to those of you following this.
Well, this is husband's least favorite.
Well, there's that.
Sacrilegious book club ain't your bag.
It's not.
No,
it's
I
not.
know, but I insist.
Some people do like this, like, and they ask for it. So, so what are we sacrilegiously book clubbing today?
Well, we are reading Tales and Legends, a treasury of Jewish folklore, and we're in part 4, chapter 6, which is Animal Tales, on page 621.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. right, so we are talking about some Jewish animal tales today.
Okay.
And they're all really short, and a lot of them are about foxes. So I was like, I wonder if Fantastic Mr. Fox was influenced by like a Jewish tale, and so I looked it up, but it's not.
That was anticlimactic.
I thought it was perfectly climactic because, you know, I wanted a thing to be true and it wasn't, and I was disappointed. And unfortunately, that's the way it be.
Yeah, yeah.
But it has that feel to it.
Got it.
So it's not, though. Okay, so animal tales. Let's talk about it.
Let's.
The invention of fables,
Yeah.
like making up moral stories and stuff, marked a significant moment in teaching people morals and wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, it was a big deal because they're like, not just...
Hey, we can use stories to describe how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're not just imparting, like, account of the corn or weaponry.
Right.
They're making shit up.
Sure, sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Fables used animals, birds, and plants with human personalities to tell stories about life and its lessons.
Yeah.
By using indirect storytelling and short, clever phrases, I think that word clever there is doing some heavy lifting from what I could read. Fables were able to teach people important things in a very simple way. They were very popular among ordinary people. And I mean, I would say that that's probably because they were easily repeatable as oral stories.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
and they're fun. I mean, ish. Comparatively speaking, it's not like...
The best of them are dad jokes. The worst of them aren't like horrible, boring.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'd rather like listen to some Jewish animal tales and fables than say sit through a UN summit.
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, the Jewish people did not invent or significantly develop fables, okay?
Right.
In general.
Sure.
Like, they were not the first people to, you know, do animal fable things.
Right.
They were good at translating and adapting fables from India and Greece in particular.
Okay.
When you compare Jewish fables to those of other people, you can see that they mostly copied from Hindu and Greek sources.
That's very interesting.
I found it interesting as well.
The Hindu influence really kind of surprises me a little bit, but
the Eastern teachings, right? Yeah. Like,
very cool.
Yeah. Rabbi Meyer, a very famous Jewish teacher from the 2nd century, and being well read in Greek and Latin literature, used fables to educate people. Okay. So a lot of people today still admire him, and as a matter of fact, like, I read a thing that said that some traditional Jewish homes actually have a donation box attached to their wall in their living room or whatever, where sometimes the old wives, like the older women, will like toss coins to commemorate him still today.
Okay.
So,
right.
And this dude, again, was from the 2nd century. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, though the Talmud records that he collected 300 fables, so he like collected them, not necessarily wrote them all.
Right.
But he collected 300 of them at least, and only about 30 survived through time.
Huh.
Yeah. He adapted these into these stories from different cultures to fit the needs of Jewish life. Like his fable, The Fate of the Wicked, which is the first one we're going to read.
Yeah.
His storytelling skills made him a legendary figure, and several anecdotes in the Aggadah portray him as a skilled teacher of ethics and a great man. So he's still much admired and revered to this day. Okay, then there's this other dude, Benedictus Le Punctuor.
That sounds like a pope name almost.
It does, right? He's a Jewish grammarian from the Middle Ages.
Okay.
And he's believed to have contributed to medieval fable literature. And while a large number of the stories in this particular, in his collection of fox fables, which that's why I was thinking Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
Many of those are Aesop's. Others are of Indian origin. And quite a few are original Jewish fables that he like made up himself.
Got it.
And this Benedictus Le Punctuor, his foxes are very clever and argumentative like Jewish scholars, and their laughter and irony have the traditional Jewish ingredients of Jewish tales.
Sure.
Even though this dude's from the Middle Ages, he's not like from early Jewish days. Okay. And it is very possible that England's first introduction to Aesop, like Aesop's tales, was through a Latin translation of Benedictus's fables.
Okay.
So I just thought, that was some interesting shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the introduction to this section. And now we are going to get into some stories. And they're all super short.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
The first one I didn't love that much. It's called The Fate of the Wicked. As I said, I'm only reading it because it was specifically mentioned in the intro and because he was so revered.
Sure.
So The Fate of the Wicked on page 622. Once a fox said to a wolf, "If you want to enjoy a good meal, take my advice. Enter the courtyard of any Jew on Friday and help him in his preparations for the Sabbath. Rest assured that he will reward you for this by asking you to partake of the Sabbath feast." I would do that, right?
Right.
The wolf, basically, like if you go and volunteer to help set up, you get to stay and eat.
Got it.
So the wolf was enchanted with the sage advice of the fox and decided to follow it. But we all know foxes.
Yeah, they're sly. They're crafty.
They're sly fox.
Yeah.
Like, they specifically refer to them as sly fox. And it makes me laugh because that's exactly what Officer Judy Hopps in Zootopia calls Nick Wilde.
Right.
She says, sly fox, and he says smart bunny.
Right.
They're cute. I like them.
Yeah.
But no sooner did the wolf show his face in the courtyard of a Jew than the entire household fell upon him with sticks and trounced him so soundly that he barely managed to escape with his life.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Full of wrath, the wolf went in search of the fox, and when he found him, he wanted to tear him limb from limb.
Sure.
The fox tried to mollify him. "Don't carry on so," he said. "I'm not to blame because they beat you. Blame your father instead. Pay attention to what I'm going to tell you now." He's like, "Your father."
Okay.
Like, your dad, your mother, you know, like, joke like that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so the fox is telling a story now to the wolf about the wolf's dad.
Yeah.
Okay. "Once a Jew asked your father to help him in his preparations for the Sabbath, and for that he promised to invite him to the feast. But your father had no patience and devoured all the delicious courses and did not leave the Jew even one little chicken bone. Now can you understand why the Jew beat you? But don't lose heart. Leave it to me. I'll lead you to a house where both of us can have our fill of a delicious feast." The wolf gratefully agreed.
Okay.
The fox then led the wolf to a well over which hung 2 buckets suspended from ropes. It's like you could see where this is going, right?
Yeah.
When one bucket went down, the other came up. I still see where this is going. The fox climbed into one bucket and quickly descended to the bottom of the well. "What you doing down there?" asked the curious wolf from above. "My, you've never seen anything like it," the fox cried out with rapture. "I found here meat and cheese and other good things to eat. Just look down. Don't you see what a great big cheese is down here?" The wolf looked down and sure enough saw the reflection of the moon mirrored in the water, but he believed that it was a cheese as the fox had told him, because apparently wolves are stupid.
Yeah.
His appetite whetted, the wolf could hardly control himself any longer. "How can I get down?" he called to the fox. Like, didn't you just see
watch him do it?
what happened?
Right.
Yeah. "Very simply," said the fox. "Get into the other bucket and join me." The wolf climbed into the bucket with alacrity, but no sooner was he in than the weight of his body pulled him down to the bottom of the well, and at the same time pulled up the other bucket carrying the fox, who jumped nimbly out.
Sure.
Terror seized the wolf when he saw what had happened. "How will I get up again?" he cried to the wolf. The fox merely answered him with the saying from the book of Proverbs. "The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead."
What did the wolf do that was wicked, though?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't make it work in my head.
Got it.
Because I was like, wait,
I mean, just because he's a wolf, I guess? Is that the whole thing?
But I'm like, it seems to me that the fox was the evil one.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So the righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead.
But the fox tricked him. and was mean.
No, what I'm saying is maybe the wolf is going to get out of trouble, but the wicked, the fox, comes in his stead. Like, I'm right behind you. Trouble's always following you. Like, I don't know how you're going to get out. I'm sure you will.
Okay.
But
that's not how I see it. I see it that, whatever.
I don't know.
I feel like this is just a play on the wolf is evil and the fox is the righteous one, apparently.
And also, like that story, which wolf do you feed, the good wolf or the bad wolf?
Sure. And I don't really appreciate the message because the fox is kind of an asshole.
He's always an asshole in these stories, FYI.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So we're about to read another fox tale. Okay.
Yeah.
This one picks up on the very next page, 623, and it's called The Advantage of Being a Scholar. Oh, I'm sorry. The Fate of the Wicked was by that one cool rabbi, and also it's adapted from the Agada of the Talmud.
Okay.
FYI.
All right.
Okay. Where's this one? This one is not particularly listed anywhere, so it's just a story.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, The Advantage of Being a Scholar. A fox looked up into a tree and saw a crow sitting on the topmost branch. The crow looked mighty good to him, for he was hungry. He tried every while to get him down, but the wise old crow only leered contemptuously down at him.
Yeah.
Foolish crow, the fox said banteringly. Believe me, you have no reason to be afraid of me. Don't you know that the birds and the beasts will never have to fight again? Haven't you heard the Messiah is coming? If you were a Talmud scholar like me, you'd surely know that the prophet Isaiah has said that when the Messiah comes, the lion shall lie down with the lamb and the fox with the crow, and there shall be peace forevermore.
But my question would be, why are you trying so hard to get me down from this tree?
Right?
Like, I don't have to come down.
Yeah.
Even if we do get along.
We are the best of friends. I like you so much way far away over there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And as he stood thus speaking sweetly, the baying of the hounds was heard. The fox began to tremble with fright and started running for his life. Because you know what happens when the dogs come, right?
They kill the fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foolish fox, croaked the crow pleasantly from the tree. You have no reason to be afraid since you're a Talmud scholar and know what the prophet Isaiah has said.
Right.
Oh, true. I know what the prophet Isaiah said, cried the fox as he slunk into the bushes. But you see, the trouble is the dogs don't. I kind of liked that
cute,
one.
Actually. Yeah, like
that one made me smile.
Right.
And I was like, yep, I will read it to the people.
Yep.
All right, and now we skip a few pages. Page 628. The Wise Bird and the Foolish Man.
Okay.
And I really liked this one.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bird catcher once caught a bird, as a bird catcher does,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But it was an extraordinary creature that understood all the 70 languages of mankind.
70.
Just 70.
Okay.
Precisely
Yeah,
70.
got it.
Not 71 and not 68.
Sure.
Whereas it's my understanding that there are hundreds and hundreds of languages today.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look it up because I'm curious.
Yeah. So anyway, she understood whatever 70 languages existed back then.
Right.
She therefore pleaded with her captor in his own tongue, "Set me free, and I will impart to you 3 useful teachings." "Tell them to me first, then I will release you," said the bird catcher. "First, give me your solemn oath that you will keep your word," answered the bird. "I swear to set you free," replied the man. The bird then spoke. "Pay heed then." This is very important.
Okay. Yeah.
The first teaching is never regret what has already happened. The second teaching is don't believe the incredible. The third teaching is never try to achieve the unattainable.
Okay.
Having taught the man her wisdom, the bird pleaded, "Set me free now as you promised." And the bird catcher agreed and set her free. At that, the bird spread her wings and flew to the top of a high tree nearby, and from there she mocked at the man below. "Fool that you are, you let me out of your grasp, not knowing that I carry in my body a priceless pearl, through whose magic power I have become wise." When the bird catcher heard this, he regretted the folly that had led him to release the bird. To retrieve his loss, he began to climb the tree upon which the bird was perched. But barely had he reached halfway when he lost his hold and fell to the ground. There he lay with broken bones, moaning in pain. The bird looked down upon him and laughed. "You stupid fool," she chided him. "But a few moments have passed since I imparted to you my wisdom, and already you have forgotten it. I told you never to regret anything that has happened, and almost immediately you regretted giving me my freedom.
Very true.
I taught you not to believe the incredible, and nevertheless, you accepted as truth my fairy tale that I carry in my body, a wonder-working pearl. Know that I am nothing but a common bird who has to forage for her nourishment from hour to hour. Lastly, I cautioned you against trying to achieve the unattainable, and nonetheless, you undertook to capture a bird on the wing with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Because you did not heed me, you now lie broken and bleeding. About such as you is the proverb, a reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes unto a fool. There are, unfortunately, many simpletons like you among men. The end.
That's a truism. Yeah. Just real quick, there are currently in the world today 7,151 languages.
I said several hundreds.
So, yeah. No, I thought I'd throw that out there.
I appreciate knowing that, considering that they were just trying to say 70 fucking languages.
Right, yeah.
Because God knows everything.
But somebody will be like, well, that was thousands of years ago. Whatever.
I can't with you, you know? Like, that is bullshittery at its finest. It's disingenuous. It's not even trying.
Yeah.
So, the answer, the correct response is that man created God, and that man did not know that there were other peoples on other continents that they didn't even know existed.
Right.
They didn't know the continents existed, much less the people.
Exactly.
So, of course, they didn't know how many languages there were, so their God couldn't either.
Right.
So, let's not, play around here.
Yeah.
All right. So, how did you like the wise bird and the foolish man?
But that was a good message, actually.
I thought so too.
I like that.
And I like that she immediately tested him. Like, she was like, here's the info pop quiz, but didn't tell him it was a pop quiz.
Right.
And she's like, literally, you're an idiot.
Right.
So, yeah, I appreciated that. Okay, the very next story is on page 629, and it's called The Fox and the Foolish Fishes.
Okay.
And I like this one too.
All right.
The Holy One said to the angel of death, cast a pair of each species into the sea, and then thou shalt have dominion over all that remain in the species. The angel did so forthwith, and he cast a pair of each kind into the sea. When the fox saw what he was about, what did he do? At once he stood and wept. Then the angel of death came unto him. Why weepest thou? For my companions whom thou hast cast into the sea, answered the fox. Where then are thy companions? Said the angel. The fox ran to the seashore, and the angel of death beheld the reflection of the fox in the water, and he thought that he had already cast in a pair of foxes. So, addressing the fox by his side, he cried, Be off with you! The fox at once fled and escaped. The weasel met him, and the fox related what had happened and what he had done. And so the weasel went and did likewise. And so at the end of the year, the Leviathan, which I guess is the god of the water.
Well, yeah, it came up in the Bible, remember?
No, I know. It's just that we started out with the Holy One talking to the angel of death.
Right.
And saying, throw some shit into the sea.
Yeah.
And then you can have dominion over all that remain of the species.
Right.
So you still get to be, angel of death on land. So I'm like, is the Holy One Leviathan?
I don't think so. I don't know. Because God defeated the Leviathan at some point in the Bible. Yeah,
I know. I don't understand. Like,
I'm not sure. I think that the reference to Leviathan might be just the reference to the gatekeeper of the sea. So, like, how they're casting things into the sea. So maybe maybe it was more of a reference of this, like, pseudo god that lives in the sea.
Well, he's in charge, like, throughout the story. He's big boss.
No, I got it.
Okay. So, at the end of the year, the Leviathan assembled all the creatures in the sea, and lo, the fox and the weasel were missing, for they had not come into the sea. Pop, pop goes the weasel, the weasel. He sent to ask and was told how the fox and the weasel had escaped through their wisdom. They taunted the Leviathan. If you escaped a goddamn god, are you taunting or are you staying low key?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm on the down low. You ain't never going to hear from me.
Right.
I'm just trying to live.
Yeah.
They taunted the Leviathan, saying, the fox is exceedingly cunning. The Leviathan felt uneasy and envious, and he sent a deputation of great fishes with the order that they were to deceive the fox and bring him before him. The fishes went and found the fox by the seashore. When the fox saw the fishes disporting themselves near the bank, he was surprised, and he went among them. They beheld him and asked, "Who art thou?" "I'm the fox," said he. "Knowest thou not," continued the fishes, "that a great honor is in store for thee, and that we have come here on thy behalf?" "What is it?" asked the fox. "The Leviathan," they said, "is sick and likely to die. He has appointed thee to reign in his stead, for he has heard that thou art wiser and more prudent than all the other animals. Come with us, for we are his messengers and are here by thy honor." "But," objected the fox, "how can I come into the sea without being drowned?" "Nay," said the fishes, "ride upon one of us, and he will carry thee above the sea, so that not even a drop of water shall touch so much as the soles of thy feet, until thou reachest the kingdom. We will take thee down without thy knowing it. Come with us, and reign over us, and be king, and be joyful all the days. No more wilt thou need to seek for food, nor will wild beasts stronger than thou meet thee and devour thee." Sounds like a deal.
Yeah. Except for that, it involves going into the water. And
I would be like, nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
The fox heard and believed their words, though. So how smart is he? Dumb fox.
Right.
He rode upon one of them, and they went with him into the sea. Soon, however, the waves dashed over him, and he began to perceive that he had been tricked. "Woe is me," wailed the fox. "What have I done? I have played many a trick on others, but these fishes have played one on me worth mine put together."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did. "Now that I have fallen into their hands, how shall I free myself?" "Indeed," he said, turning to the fishes, "now that I am fully in your power, I shall speak the truth. What are you going to do with me?" "To tell thee the truth," replied the fishes, "the Leviathan has heard thy fame, that thou art very wise, and he said, I will rend the fox and will eat his heart, and thus I shall become wise." "Oh," said the fox, "why did you not tell me the truth at first? I should then have brought my heart with me, and I should have given it to the king Leviathan, and he would have honored me. But now ye are in an evil plight."
Oh, man.
"What? Thou hast not thy heart with thee?" "Certainly not. It is our custom to leave our heart at home while we go about from place to place. When we need our heart, we take it. Otherwise, it remains at home." "Oh, what must we do?" asked the bewildered fishes. "My house and dwelling place," replied the fox, "are by the seashore. If you like, carry me back to the place whence you brought me. I will fetch my heart, and I will come with you. I will present my heart to Leviathan, and he will reward me and you with honors. But if you take me thus without my heart, he will be very wroth with you."
I don't know about you, but I don't believe him.
I don't either,
Yeah.
but I do think he's really smart and quick on his feet.
Right, yeah.
"And he will devour you. I have no fear for myself, for I shall say unto him, My Lord, they did not tell me at first. And when they did not tell me, I begged them to return from my heart, but they refused."
Yeah.
"What you gonna do?"
Right.
Yeah. The fishes at once declared that he was speaking well with his, these and thous and thys, right?
Yeah.
They conveyed him back to the spot on the seashore whence they had taken him. Off jumped the fox, and he danced with joy. See, again, why are you doing
gloat.
this, right?
Yeah, right.
That should be the lesson in all of these. Don't fucking gloat. If you get away, get the fuck away.
Right.
He threw himself on the sand and laughed. Stupid ass.
Right.
"Be quick," cried the fishes. "Get thy heart and come." But the fox answered, "You fools, be gone. How could I have come with you without my heart? Have you any animals that go about without their hearts?" Stupid asses.
Right.
"Thou hast tricked us," they moaned.
Sure thing, yeah.
"Fools, I tricked the angel of death. How much more easily a parcel of silly fishes." I mean, burn.
Right, yeah.
The fish returned in shame and related to their master what had happened. "In truth," he said, "the fox is cunning and ye are simple. Concerning you it was said, the turning away of the simple shall slay them." That's a proverb. Proverbs 132.
I see.
Then the Leviathan ate the fishes. The end.
What the fuck?
That's pretty great, yeah?
I mean, sure, yeah.
He's like, all
but
right.
I don't really understand what the message is, though.
I don't know.
Be cunning, be Be crafty, be sly, be quick on your feet, I guess, maybe.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Sure. Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess I could take that from it.
I think that the proper message is don't let people take you under the sea.
Right. And I guess, if you keep your wits about you, right, you could say keeping your wits about you is a good thing because the fox was able to like coolly and calmly like change up the situation for himself.
I mean, he was all but dead and he talked himself out of it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe take some debate classes.
Sure.
And learn how to think and respond quickly. And intelligently.
Yeah.
To change minds.
Yeah.
Or to trick people.
Right.
All right. Page 631, we are reading The Curse of the Indolent.
Okay.
A heathen farmer had a pig, a she-ass, and her little ass. I got a big ass.
Yeah.
He fed the pig a great deal, but the she-ass and her child were fed in limited measure.
Okay.
What a foolish man our master is, said the little ass to his mother. Don't you think it is unjust, mother, that we who work for him and pull his burdens should be fed so poorly? Why is it that the pig who is lazy all day long and does nothing eats as much as he wants?
Because he's going to eat the pig. I'm just saying.
Just wait a while, my child, the she-ass comforted him. A time is sure to come when you will see the pig in great misfortune. Know that the farmer is not stuffing her with fine food out of love for her, but only to hasten her grief. When the heathen celebrated the next feast day, he slaughtered his pig. Ever after, whenever the little ass was given food, he ate sparingly, remembering the sad fate of the pig. When his mother saw this, she tried to correct him. It isn't eating a lot that brings death, my child, but going about the livelong day like the pig doing nothing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, there was that. And I don't think I have any more. Let me flip through.
I mean, that was 4. You said you had 4, so
that was it.
Okay.
And we are almost done with this book.
Okay. All right.
So I just want to tell you there's only one more section left.
Yeah.
And it's Proverbs and Riddles.
Okay.
And it's going to be kind of good, I think. I'm going to read some shit at you and you're going to try to like respond like, what does that mean? And then if you can't guess what it means, then I'll tell you what it means.
Got it.
And there's also a couple of riddles that Frodo could have used in The Hobbit.
Okay.
And yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. And that will be the end of this book.
Okay. All right. So that was our Sacrilegious Book Club for the day.
I actually have one more thought before we go.
Yeah.
I was thinking that after we finish this book, we should pick up the Asimov where we left off.
Yeah, we have some people asking for that, so for sure.
Now that we're further along in the Old Testament and, we're in the prophets now.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we won't catch up with ourselves for a while.
Right.
And we will caveat every time that Isaac Asimov was a somewhat racist, very sexist son of a bitch.
Sure.
But had a lot of smart things to say.
Yeah.
So
was there documentation about him being racist? I knew the lecherous part was there, but I wasn't sure about. I never heard the racist.
You know what?
part.
I might be just assuming because usually where one goes follows the other.
Okay.
So I could be wrong.
All right.
But
I just wanted to clarify because I don't recall that as part of that. But
it wouldn't shock me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He
wrote a good commentary on the Bible for sure.
He did.
So,
and we learned a lot from it until we stopped.
Right.
And we were catching up with ourselves anyway, so we had thought...
We were going to have to slow down or stop at some point anyway.
So...
But now we've got a lot under our belt, and we can go back to it. And so as soon as we finish this one, which will not be too much longer...
Right.
We'll go back to the Asimov.
I happen to know one person specifically who will be happy, and his name is Conrad. Conrad, this is for you. The end.
All right. So that was our book club for the day.
Yes, it was.
And I will be getting our weekly weekly replay together here. And then we will be back tomorrow with...
Can I say his name?
I don't know. You keep fucking it up.
I keep wanting to say Josiah, but it's Hosea.
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 Yes. Hosea chapter 1.
Hosea chapter 1.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.